Let's go. Actually on time. You feel me? Let's give me a little pop out on the chat so I can see things a bit easier. Right on time. Exactly, Paulo. I try to be on time. I'm still trying to figure out my whole camera situation thing. I got a new, it's not even an old camera, it's my old, it's not even a new camera, it's my old camera from before. But I swapped it out because, I don't know, I might actually have to switch between my two cameras, whether I stream like during the day or versus the night or something. I don't know. I still need to figure that out, but hope it shows my face enough. That, or I might just have to get like a ring light, which I know are super inexpensive, but that's just a whole nother thing. But regardless, glad to be here, guys. Evening, Mark. Dude, everyone's on already. VBN3 slash Corey slash Old Rhubarb is going to be joining us shortly. He said if he asked earlier if he could hop on. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. I was going to talk about some stuff about the of course the market, but also just about the channel too, getting ideas from getting some ideas from you guys on just video ideas and stuff like that in general. I am getting a bit of a kind of writer's block or whatever you want to call it on ideas for videos, and I already have a couple, but it's mostly just sitting down and getting ideas that I'm actually excited to do. Victor, do we have an idea of what announcement could be? This dip is a joke. I feel like if it's nothing too crazy, the floor will be swooped up on most things. Everything's so thin. Yeah, exactly, Victor. That's exactly what everyone's thinking right now. Like, I do think tomorrow's AMA, because it does sound like Veve's having like a kind of a short AMA tomorrow. And they might clear up some things about like the whole pepper thing, and is it as big as, I think Veve's also realizing that whenever they give little clues and hints about anything on Twitter, it gets taken objectively and subjectively, like very aggressively on both ends. So I don't know why I'm like super zoomed in. I don't know if this is something I was doing before or... There it goes. That chart's refreshed. What's good, Veve? Yep. Abstract. What's the all-time high for a mayor of Townsville? Let's check it out. The mayor. Vibe's been waiting to ask you about what could have been an awful decision I made last night. I mean, she couldn't have been that bad looking. I mean, we all make mistakes. Mayor of Townsville, all-time high of 1,800 for probably about 6 hours. I would imagine that's a very thin yeah, it's a very thin candle right there. I would probably put it a little bit closer down to here, where there's actually like 2 levels of resistance. So it's probably closer to like 1,200 in my opinion. Or no, 1,300. I don't know why that's kind of like that. But even then, not bullish on Townsville or just kind of the Powerpuff Girls in general. Not too much. Low mints, yeah, that's great, but doesn't mean it's gonna hold its value that much. Sorry, could you check the all-time high? Yeah, I think I already asked that. What's up? Thank you. Yeah, do you think there'll be a pump this weekend after the drop announcement, or later at the end of the month for spicy, whatever that is? I think people are waiting on spicy, and I think people don't want to admit it, but people are also kind of like possibly still holding out hope for like Pokemon or something related to that. Who knows? Not entirely sure. Veve World, hi Veve vibes. How long have you been on Veve? Do you think this dip is concerning or pretty normal dip? I've been on here for almost 3-4 months, and it's not a normal dip that I've seen, but at the same time, it's kind of expected, right? Just because we had that huge run up in January and stuff, but this one has been rolling around for a while. Give me a sec here. All right. God, still have to mark these notifications on Veve, on like the Veve Discord that are like, hey, by the way, we got this. I'm like, cool. Don't care about the comics. Yeah, I would. Is it a normal dip? No, it's definitely a heavy retracement of, you know, a few weeks now, obviously. But I do think people have forgotten this run up we had, right? And that's not a very good example of it. If we look at something like, I mean, quite literally anything. What if we did, let's just look at Spider-Man really quick. Spooder-Man. I should probably also pause that. Say my music was. Yeah, let me look up, let's look up like, I don't know. Let's look up Ben Reilly. That might be kind of like an exaggerated example. But just look up common Spider-Man in the meantime. Don't know why there's getting a lot of lag on this. Give me a sec here. That's not what I wanted. That's not what could be it too. Hopefully that might make things run a little bit faster. So common Spider-Man, yeah, that crazy pump that happened during basically January 9th through January 15th-ish, it looks like here. I think a lot of people are forgetting, like, this was a pretty heavy pump, right? A lot happened within like 2.5 weeks, and now we're having, yeah, weeks and weeks and weeks worth of retracement. So I mean, this, like, common Spider-Man has still not gotten as low as it has to 455. So like, realistically, like, Spider-Man could go down, like the common could go down to like 550 if it wanted to, right? Maybe like 600, maybe even 550 at like the worst. Like, there's a lot of people that bought back here that are just holding right now, right? So the Donald Mini, so the Donald and Mini, wait. Okay, so the Donald Mini I got off drop, and Lady and the Tramp number 3465 also got off drop, listed for 1250s. Okay, so you sold the Donald, a Mini, and a Lady and the Tramp that you all got off drop, listed for 1200. Picked up a Goofy for 2350. Very iffy. Lie to me, please. Tell me good things. Where's Donald the Mini right now? I mean, I think upgrading from Donald Mini and a Lady the Tramp, which is arguably the lowest tier golden moment, it's not a bad move. I mean, Goofy's already up to 2500, so I don't think that's a bad move. I don't want to say it's like a fantastic move, but it's definitely like above good, I would say. I like that move. I think it's fine. I just don't think percentage-wise Goofy's going to move as much as Donald. But then again, you know, you didn't have 2,300 gems worth of Donalds, right? You only had the one. And Mini can move quite a bit. I don't see Lady and the Tramp moving too much, in my personal opinion. But I think that's a pretty good move. It also just kind of helps to simplify your vault, too, from multiple NFTs just to one. So it could be worth it. All right. I think we... Whatever's good. Just punting around the computer in the meantime. All right. Okay, that's still up. But Braden Britt, I think that's fine. I think it's a fine trade that you did. Tremendous, love this chat daily. My drive home too. Let's go, Ben Riley, Spider-Man. Yeah, I think Ben Riley's going to recover very, very well, but I think people are forgetting this run up, right? Even all through December, there was a bit of a run up for Spider-Man. But like this massive run up, it's honestly just Richard. Like if you bought anywhere back here, I mean, this shouldn't really concern you too much. Yeah, I mean, I think this Spider-Man graph is actually a perfect example how things just spike up and it's got to sell off eventually, right? Obviously, there's been a few other catalysts, just kind of like, oh, we're waiting on MTL and like the whole Chili Pepper announcement and potentially Pokemon and this and that. And, you know, there's a lot of other catalysts or things that are causing the market to kind of stall a bit since the beginning of the year, right? But other than that, I think people are forgetting about this huge pump. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like a weird way of explaining it, but it's like, imagine getting a cut on your arm. Like it happens very quick, but it takes a while for it to heal and scar over, right? So that's kind of how I imagine like the market. When something spikes and it does really well, there's a terrible analogy. It gets pointy and you get, God, I have no idea. But long story short, sometimes it does just take longer for the market to recover from a massive spike like this, like a hard 2 to 3x. Like it's not like the price dropped down 2 to 3x to match it, right? It pretty much went up and then it only went down halfway, or not even halfway, and now it's starting to slowly settle down. So, but like listings for Spider-Man are going down overall. Well, I mean, since probably like February 3rd, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, there was almost 300 Spider-Mans. Now it's all the way down to 228. Let's see. Let me catch up with chat. No announcements today. Weird for the last 5 drops. They've always been on Thursday. Good call. Thoughts on Deadpools? I think they're pretty good. I remember putting them. I still think they're one of the Marvels that will move. When the pump does happen, they'll probably be one of the first ones. Not like Spider-Man, but they'll be one of the first ones. Henry overseas, good morning from Thailand. Hope you're doing well today. I am doing well. Dude, Thailand, that's crazy, dude. I've always wanted to visit Thailand. I heard it's, I've had friends visit there and they said most of the expenses is just flying there to and from. But once you actually get there, like the room, the board, the food are really inexpensive, at least comparatively to the US and stuff. So I would love to visit there someday. I'm sure this comes up every stream. I've noticed people, and rightfully so, are wanting MTL or at least some sort of timeline. I'd like to know myself, to be honest, even though 80% of my collectibles I'm holding. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like if they came out with MTL, I'll probably be holding 90% of them and selling 10% just for a little bit of cash right now, just to kind of give me a bit of a cushion or just a way to kind of focus a bit more on Veve. So good morning from Singapore. Wow, we got people from Singapore, Thailand. That's nuts. I got a sub 300 mint Steamboat Willie Common at 252, or sorry, 525. Good deal. I would say so. Yeah. I'm not sure how much of a part like getting a sub 300 or sub 3K will make. Maybe you can ask for a small premium, but if anything, if you do decide to sell it later, you can kind of list it slightly above floor and maybe sell it quicker. That's the only thing I can really think of. Comment rocket ships. Few accounts I was tracking selling off and going dark. It's also a conflict on the other side of the world. I don't know if that's also causing a dump. That too. Not feeling too well, but I'll hang in there as long as I can. Yeah, dude, I appreciate it, Daniel Marquez. I know you've been kind of feeling out of it the last few days, so I hope you're feeling better. All right, I'm gonna get through these last couple of questions, then we're gonna bring on Veve 3, Mr. Rhubarb, here in a sec. Guess if I wasn't, what does this mean when someone commented what is unwarranted chili hysteria on Veve Twitter and Veve said better that you don't know? What is unwarranted chili hysteria? In my mind, actually, that's probably a good question for Veve 3. So maybe we'll save that question for him because that's a really good question. I don't know it off the top of my head. I do need like I might need like a moment to think about it. So in the meantime, I'm going to go through this. Mason, it means there's no drops on Saturday, my guy. That too. Sean W, someone buy my 24-21 Ben Riley. Let me guess, it's like 20% above floor. Did you see Alex said his meant it's going to be a busy week? Okay. Like on the market or for Veve or who knows? Could we have a look at R2D2? Yeah, we can. Continue to do tier lists, but with other NFTs, just gold moments. Yeah, I could do like Spider-Man's and do some other stuff. So, yeah, I could do more tier list videos. People do seem to like those. I'll have to look at some of my analytics as well and get a good idea as to like which ones are doing the best. So. Yeah, let me look up R2D2 really quick. What are you going to look up about him? Elias Roeder. Just gonna do golden moments. Golden Mo. Good morning, mate. What happens to golden moments Donald and the next day and for the rest of the month? Will it continue to dip for a bit? Initial K, what's up? Good morning, mate. Uh-oh, you from down under? Donald, huh? I think he's gonna dip slightly more until there's a huge announcement or something like that. But I still think Donald and Daisy are. I still think Donald and Daisy are pretty, very undervalued. Gem for gem, they're probably the best golden moment on the platform right now. UK, I figured it's one of the two. It was realistically it was a 50-50 shot. What's up?
What's up, dude? Just muting your YouTube.
Cool.
Audio sound good?
Yeah, audio sounds good. Initial K, does it make you upset that I microwave my tea instead of putting it in a kettle?
Yeah.
I know people in the UK get they think it's
you're a barbarian, man.
Yeah,
no
basically
respect.
it's basically blasphemous to have to microwave tea instead of you know, putting it in a kettle and the whole spiel. So let's see if I can get this going. Let's see.
Gonna nerf your audio a little bit in my ears because you are loud, so loud.
Sick.
There we go.
Let's see. Okay, there we go. Boom! Look at that. I also need to come up. Oh, I do also have I have the picture somewhere around here.
You don't have to waste screen space on that, dude.
Here it is. Boom. I think I have.
Ugh.
All right, I think we got you.
Adjust my posture so I don't look like such a
Yeah.
like a animal. Here we go. I'm set up now.
Hell yeah. I think I got you all set up too. Sick, and we
Cool.
got your little Game Boy outline from. What was your favorite Game Boy game? Your classic Game Boy.
Earthworm Jim, dude.
Earthworm
Jim was my jam. I love that game.
Nice.
So I mean, ton of great Game Boy games, but Earthworm Jim is a fond memory.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time spent crying as my batteries would slowly, because you know they were AA back then.
Yeah,
so, yeah, it was just slowly dying. And I had a battery pack that you could recharge, but the little tab that held it in the back of the Game Boy, it broke off. So whenever I played the Game Boy, I'd have to like crush it with my grip, and if I got complacent for just a second, it would come loose and just turn the game off. You know how save points were back then. It was heartbreaking. These were hard times.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, that's exactly. Me and my brothers, I think we had two, and I think for sure one of the clips on the back, like you said, the one that holds the batteries, you know, to the Game Boy, that part broke off. I think everyone's broke off at some point.
Yeah.
Right. So you had to like
failure.
I think we had to like I think we just duct taped that with like 6 strips of duct tape just around the corners, like keep it on there, and then of course it was pain in the ass to take it off whenever we wanted to get new batteries. You know, or you would play the Game Boy and you run out of batteries, or like the batteries would die, and then because you don't have any more batteries, all you do is rearrange the order and just hope that would like give you enough time for like 30 more minutes to like keep playing.
The good old days.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah, I remember licking the cartridge or blowing on the cartridge of the Game Boys back then too. That would like help it. Totally would. I don't care what anyone says. It definitely helped.
Kind of miss those days.
Yeah. So what do you think about these questions? Mason Fuzzy asked a question earlier. He said, apparently they're doing a AMA about like unwarranted chili hysteria and all that stuff. Did you see that AMA like thing tomorrow?
Yeah, I didn't see the AMA. I didn't listen to it. I know exactly what it's about. They're just trying to...
It's tomorrow though, right? I don't think it's happened yet.
I thought they posted it on the Discord already. Has it not happened?
Did they?
Let's have some real talk. I was kind of hoping it happened so I wouldn't have to sit through it, but now that I know it's coming, I'm gonna have to sit through this little... So is it a full-fledged AMA or is this just a damage control AMA? That's the real question.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know.
I feel like it's probably a damage control AMA. It was just a bad move to do the spicy, this drop is 2 out of 4 chili peppers because it set an expectation for the whole community and it was really vague and they've just been eating it ever since.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not just, and it's not just from that one Twitter response he had, right? From like that for the golden moments, like that was even in the previous AMA earlier this month. From what I've heard, I remember them saying like, "Oh, this month's gonna be spicy or whatever." Like
spicy.
That's it. So it's I don't think it's just strictly on Alex's shoulders, but maybe unless he was the one that also said it during for the month or something. But
all I remember from that last AMA was at the very end, and you even messaged me. We were on Discord together talking, and you were like, he mentioned, the potential of like a Black Panther first appearance like a Black History Month related major first appearance. But I don't remember him saying like specifically the spicy thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just know the Twitter hysteria. That's all.
Yeah, same. It's mostly the Twitter hysteria, but I think he might have mentioned it last AMA where they basically didn't give us like any new information, but like the very tail end of that AMA apparently, because I just logged off like when they were like, all right, I guess that's it. I'm like, all right, that's no new announcements. Same. I just logged off. But I guess there was like 3 or 4 minutes left afterward where they kind of just talked about just some generic stuff, and I think Alex might have said, or someone might have said, oh yeah, cool, the rest of this month is going to be spicy, like that's it. And then that might have been a reoccurring
like
theme.
A bullet list that had like 4 bullets. You're like, here's the breakdown of the AMA, and it was like 4 bullet points.
Yeah, that's
like
not
all the actual information.
Yeah, and it was all stuff we already knew. It's like MTL before OMI to NFT, and there was like, oh, we had 4,000 people watching this AMA, and like that was it. Like 2 other kind of just generic bullet points. But so I'm not sure what the Henry Riverson says, did you see Alex said his spicy meant it's going to be a busy week? And that's the other thing too, right? Is like, is it a busy week for Veve, like they're making stuff, or is it a busy week for the market? Like, ooh, once this drops, the market's going to be busy. Like, I don't know what that means, but
that's just the problem. Like when it comes down to it with Twitter as like a marketing device, is it's contextual, and you have such a small, limited amount of space to convey what it is you're trying to say. Yeah. So sometimes you're just trying to be fun, which you kind of expect from Twitter. That's why you come to Twitter for kind of those short, punchy little one-liner information bites. And sometimes it backfires. And that time, clearly, it's backfired.
Yeah, like I said before, like when they post something on Twitter, I'm like, someone's going to take it figuratively and literally, or what's it called? Not figuratively, but it's like, they're going to take it objectively and subjectively. Like, correctly. No matter what you say, they're going to take it both ways that could be intended. And just run with it and say that this is the way it's going to be, or, oh, he hinted at this or that. So it's just, it is what it is.
I'm ready to move on. I don't know about you. Like, same. I'm ready for the chili pepper thing to be done, and let's just move on with normal. Here's your 24 to 48 hour pre-release information. This is what's coming, and let's roll with it. Like, I prefer information in that manner.
Yeah. I do have a couple questions, but I want to just get through chat. Sell an uncommon Steamboat Willie and 2 minis to buy a Golden Moment Donald. What do you think about Golden Moment Donald? Do you think it's... I know the word undervalued is very ambiguous, but where do you see Donald being in like a month or two, like positioning itself? Like,
I think what we're going to have, and here's some pure speculation because I don't get to do that on my channel, but I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a whole bunch of these Fab 50 statues dilute the golden moments overall for a while. And then once we're out of the Fab 50, like those aren't available, because I think there's like 25 of those statues physically in place, and the rest of them are like up in the air, like they haven't even been announced. So I think they're going to push through a lot of these golden moments, and the value of Donald is going to be 100% dependent on how many more Donalds they decide to give us. Like when it comes down to it, if he's the only one for a long time, his value is going to keep going up. I mean, arguably you could say even more Donalds would mean even more value, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's going to take a while for these new things to kind of find out where they fit. And I think we've seen all the other golden moments kind of like take a hit trying to figure out where they stand against all this.
Oh yeah. So you think Veve and or I guess Disney are going to release the Fab 50 at some point? Like they're just going to release all of them in a golden moment style?
I mean, if you look at what we have, like the R2D2, that is an exact replica of a Fab 50 statue that exists. The Lady and the Tramp is an exact replica of a Fab 50 statue that exists. Donald and Daisy, if you smush them together and move Donald's hat, it's literally an exact replica. So I kind of feel like if you look at different brands and licensings as deals, the Fab 50 deal is done. Like those are available. And another reason that makes me feel that that's a little more valid as an argument is the whole, this was a last minute thing. I think maybe Alex referenced that in a tweet. Like Disney asked us last minute to do this Valentine's Day Golden Moments release. And if that's the case, then this deal has already been done. It's just they've been holding it in the rafters, waiting to drop it, and they dropped it. And nothing about these two Golden Moments scream Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Like I would have to tell you, I'd have to give you some context. I'd have to be like, let's think Valentine's Day. Now look at these two statues. Aren't these great representations of Valentine's Day? But if I took that context away from you, you'd just be like, oh, it's Lady and the Tramp and it's Donald and Daisy. So I'm kind of starting to believe the whole, it was a last minute thing. And if that is the case, if it was last minute, deals of this magnitude aren't made last minute. So this deal has been done for a while, and it makes me feel like it applies to the entire Fab 50.
Gotcha. Interesting. So do you think that's gonna dilute it for golden moments? Like, do you think that's gonna kind of pull down the value just in general of golden moments, or will it still make like the season one or like the first version of golden moments the most valuable or the most sought after?
I just think people need to look at beyond the fact that it's just a golden moments, but what it represents. The reason Partners is valuable is because of what it represents as an iconic piece. The reason that Star Wars is doing well is because of what it represents, the first ever Star Wars. And so Donald and Daisy, arguably, if you're looking at it from an IP standpoint, those aren't the first Disney golden moments. They're strong characters. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know how I feel about Donald. I love Donald. But Donald isn't Mickey holding Walt Disney's hand. So I just don't think he'll ever be able to ascend to those levels. And if you look at the Fab 50 statue lineup, I mean, some of them, I'm not going to say they're throwaway statues, but some things are just going to be worth more to people. Kind of like, have you ever seen the movie Soul? It's like a recent Pixar movie.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it got great reviews, or at least I saw like an abridged version of it and I liked it. So
gotcha. Well, the main character in that, Sam Gardner, there's a statue of him. Have you seen The Incredibles with Frozone in it?
Yeah.
Frozone is a Fab 50 statue. He has his own statue. And so as all of these statues roll out, yes, there'll be golden moments, but some things I think are just going to have a little more intrinsic iconic value than other things. And that's partially just because of how recent those things are. You know, what's more iconic, Donald Duck, who's existed since Disney's heyday, or, you know, Frozone, who's an awesome character who I loved. Like, don't get me wrong, I got nothing against Frozone, but he's only been around for a handful of years, so he isn't quite an icon just yet. So I don't know about dilution. I just think people need to start looking a little more as what is the iconic value of whatever this thing is, as opposed to it's golden, it's a golden moment. Golden moments are worth a lot. This is going to be worth a lot.
Yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's gonna, I've been telling people this from the beginning, like what's the most popular, right? Like Lady and the Tramp, it's a golden moment, but I as of right now, it's gonna be bottom tier because they've had what, 2 movies since it's existed. I think in 1955 was the first movie, and then they did kind of a reboot or what do they call it? Like a real life adaptation in 2019. And that's it. That's pretty much been it. And I think everyone knows of it, but it's like people aren't going out of their way to watch it dozens and dozens of times, or fleeing to the parks to get a plushie of it or this, that. Like it's not that big of a icon.
Which makes me wonder if that's why it's not tagged as a rare, to lower the edition size, because the target demographic for that is going to be older, and that group itself in the NFT space is going to be smaller. I just don't know that an 18-year-old with a boatload of crypto, whenever we have interoperability, is going to be like, oh my gosh, it's Lady and the Tramp. My dreams have been answered. I'm YOLOing on this thing. But I do think someone that's been alive for quite a while and is super familiar with that and views it as an icon would put some money down towards it.
Yeah. Monica Natasha, who's a frequent viewer of mine, I appreciate you being here.
Hi, Monica.
I want to cover it very quickly. She's talking about how it's kind of getting scary because people's accounts are getting disabled that are innocent. Some of these apps have thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars worth of assets. It's very 100%. Concerning. Yeah, it's very concerning. Veve doesn't seem to look into it quickly enough. Any knowledge on this, if you guys can share?
Well, I will tell you some good news. A friend of mine on Twitter, and I was actually on Twitter right before I came over to here. I think his username is actually like ecomi _wiki _ like OMI or something like that. But he got disabled. He's from Israel, and he got disabled, I want to say 3 weeks ago, and he has done all the right things. He did the trouble ticket. He gave the KYC information. He went on Twitter and, was vocal about the fact that this had happened and that this was wrong. And he received like a lot of backlash on Twitter and Discord from people that were being pretty much dismissive. Like, your account got disabled because you were doing something wrong. Well, today his account just got re-enabled. So I just think people need to be a little less critical of people who are going through that, because as the bot protections are increasing, more people are getting flagged falsely. And I do think that they're putting forth a little more effort to get people through that system quickly. But if we look at the bot restriction numbers, do you remember, James, from last AMA, how many people were like 30% of incoming traffic or something like that,
which is quite a bit. And honestly, I thought it would be more, and it probably is more, but maybe they just haven't caught them all,
And if you take that number, whatever that 30% of all incoming traffic is, and just a 0.5% of those people get flagged wrongfully, that's a lot of people per drop being disabled. And until Veve has a more, robust customer service apparatus to deal with this, I think it's just going to take a lot of people time to get that resolution. With that being said, make sure the KYC information, your birth date on the app, is correct, because they're using the birth date on your government issued ID, and they're matching that to whatever your birth date is listed as on the app and personal details and that name. So if those don't match, you may not pass KYC, and you'll get like account restriction for, 12 months, and then another bunch of time.
Is it that long? Jeez.
It's a long time, dude. Yeah. Like if you fail that first KYC check.
Because she also asked too about the date of birth being a day off. From what I've heard from them, they said like, don't put any support tickets about the date of birth thing if it's off by 1 day. We're working on it. We're gonna fix it. So I don't know. Maybe that could be. I don't know. Maybe if your account is flagged.
I think they're just saying that. Yeah. I know if you put in I've had two friends now that have put in a trouble ticket and got their date of birth changed in a 48-hour period.
All right, I might have to do that. I think
they don't want us to submit trouble tickets because they're like, we're already getting so many trouble tickets. How will we ever deal with all this? But if you can't change it yourself, I would 100% put in a trouble ticket, because boy, wouldn't it just absolutely be a freaking knife in the heart to get wrongfully disabled and your KYC information. I feel like they would fix that though, right?
Yeah, if it was off by a day,
is off by 1 day.
I mean, they would know, but hopefully you would think so. But Gregorio says, would you suggest trying to stack 1.5K ish gems for the next potential drop, or getting in some like Wonder Woman before the pump, or like Rewind logo before the next release? Me personally, I'm holding off to whatever the drop announcement's going to be. I'm just playing the game everyone else is right now. I do think things could drop a little bit more even between now and the end of the week, maybe even the end of next week, whatever this drop announcement's going to be. Hopefully it is going to be spicy, something like Star Wars or Boba Fett or Black Panther or whatever. Like no one knows what's gonna no one knows what's gonna be, but whatever it is, just be ready to have some NFTs lined up in case the announcement is a complete dud and you want to scoop some things up before they kind of start flying up. Or if it is going to be a good drop, kind of have some targets in place. Like, okay, I do want to buy Donald and Daisy. All right, maybe if it goes down to like 1.3, 1.2, then I'm going to scoop it up. So have some targets in place in case it does get to a certain point. But
it's not going to pump in milliseconds. Like I feel like if we watch your channel, James, we will know whenever the pump starts to happen, because it should be pretty reflective across a lot of. I usually look at designer con things. Like I have what's the red bear with a flashing specimen 72 or something. I have one of those because I like it, but it's also just a great gauge because I can open up the app and look at it and look at what its price point is. And that kind of like shows me overall what the market's doing. Like whenever he dips really, really low, pretty much everything's dipping low. And whenever he starts to pump, everything starts to pump. And that's kind of like my litmus test for market value. I don't know, man. Like the last time that there was a hype like this for a drop, it was a 12 days of Veve. And
okay, sorry. It was just on my end. Something just cut out. I think you muted. It could be on my end because it sounded like the music stopped and so did Discord. So I might have to like recall you again. Let me just call you again. Let's try this again. I think he needs to get off the call too. All right, I think we got
Can we
it.
talk about what a jam that Discord ring music is, though? So nice.
Oh yeah. Sorry, go on. You were.
I don't even know what I was saying before I got cut off. But I said the last time I waited for hype was like the 12 days of Veve, and it was like the very last thing that was gonna drop was gonna be like this mind-blowing thing. And I mean, people were like, it's gonna be a Wolverine collectible, it's gonna be a Hulk collectible. Yeah. And it was the Ron English painting, which if you're a Ron English fan is a huge deal. I'm not discounting that and saying I like Ron English a lot, but in terms of like building up hype to like a fever pitch, that for me, I was like, I don't know if I buy this hype stuff anymore. I'm just gonna play it by ear.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was the fat breakfast, right? Or the final breakfast. What was it called? Something.
Last fat breakfast.
Last fat breakfast, and it didn't even have that many mints either. And I think that's pretty consistent across.
It was a low mint.
I think it's pretty consistent across most of the independent artists. They do kind of have to make it low mint to give it some value, because if they did make it a very high run of 20 or 30K, it would kind of, the price wise would kind of get just laughed off the app, to be honest, if it was super high mint. So they kind of have to make it a bit more limited, right? But yeah, a couple of things here on the chat. Someone said, but yeah, for me, and I think me and Corey are in agreement. At least me personally, I'm just kind of waiting to see whatever the announcement is, but I'm just having my finger on the trigger to like make a move whenever I need to, just in case that announcement is just a flop. So just be prepared for that. Weintraub said he flipped an Iron Man for a Goofy yesterday. Hurts bad, but Goofy at 2.2 seemed like a joke. Finally finished the lenticular set. I don't know if that's a move I would have made, but I totally see where you're coming from. Like Goofy's had history of going up to like 4K, which is crazy, but Iron Man has done some similar looking numbers, not all the way up to 4K.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade one for the other, but if I had money, I would buy Goofy over Iron Man, if that makes sense. Like if I have an Iron Man, like I'm not trading that for Goofy or vice versa. But if I just had the money and I'm like, which one do I buy? I would buy Goofy. So I think that's a fine trade, personally.
I do think if we see Superior Iron Man and Doctor Strange, the next movie coming, I think Iron Man's going to enjoy a pretty good pump from that. So that's just something to keep in mind, you know, if you ever do decide to go back in on Iron Man. And that's all speculative right now, obviously. But that trailer kind of hints to a version of Iron Man.
Yeah. What's up? Oh, we got Sleeping in Comics in here. What's up, dude? I saw you a bit earlier. I kind of wanted to get through the chat first, but what's up, man? What's the best way to reach out via Discord? That's someone talking to someone else. Henry, so if they decide to drop one every Valentine's Day, these will hold a little bit more value in the future. Who knows? Like I'm not too I mean, it sounds like they haven't done any holiday stuff other than 12 days of Veve prior to this Valentine's Day. They didn't do anything last year other than 12 days of Veve. That's like Halloween or like event related.
Those tags are really bizarre to me because I'm pretty sure before the drop, I looked at the tags and I can't remember who I was talking to. Maybe it was, was I on your stream? I'm not sure whose stream I was on, but we looked at the tags, and for the original Golden Moments, there were no tags, like no series information or anything like that. And then these oddly have the Valentine's Day. And do those say Series 1 on them?
I think they
I think they just say Valentine's Day. I'm not even sure if they just say
Valentine's
1.
Day. I think they just say Valentine's Day as well.
I would double check that. If it says Series 1, then yeah, you're right. We could get a Series 2 and 3, and maybe completion of all 3 of the series could lead to an airdrop. That would be major. But if it just says Valentine's Day as kind of like a generic time and place tag into that metadata, that would give it far less value in terms of just gauging it off the metadata.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I'm
all hopped up on caffeine right now, everyone. I'm sorry.
Yeah, same. I got my Monster here, which is, I know they're god awful for me, but yeah, at the very bottom it says series. It just says Valentine's Day. It doesn't say it's a season 3 Disney brand Golden Moments. Yeah, it doesn't say like series 1 or anything
series
like
1.
that.
And it's like interesting, if you look at our normal stamps from USPS, we have our Day of the Dead Series 1. We have our Saint Nick Series 1. We have our Lunar Stamps Series 1, which kind of indicates that next year we'll get the Series 2 for each of those holidays, then Series 3. And what's the airdrop reward, if any, going to be for collecting something over the course of 3 years? Could be pretty legit. I don't know. Or it could not.
Yeah, because right
speculation.
Yeah, because the original Golden Moments, it doesn't say Series 1 either. It just says for the Simpsons, it just says the Simpsons series. And
yeah, I don't think is it actually say under series Simpsons, or does it just say Golden Moments generically?
It said the brand is Disney Plus Golden Moments, and then the series is like whatever that thing is. So for like Elsa and the hat, it says Walt Disney Animation Studios. So interesting. Yeah. So apparently none of these Golden Moments are technically a series. Technically, I guess if they're, I mean, not like a series 1, 2, like they're not numerical. It's just whatever part or maybe branch of either Disney, or if it's like a holiday related thing. So kind of interested in that. Let's see what we got here on the chats. So I already said we already have Sleeping Comics, and then
that's exciting.
Yeah. Will Donald Golden Moments outrun C-3PO? I don't think so. I don't think it'll get that close. I think it'll probably get closer to like, I think it could potentially run past Iron Man, but Elsa might be a bit of a stretch. It depends. You have to, I think if you give it enough time, I do see it being placed in like the number 5 spot though on Golden Moments. So basically it goes like Walt, R2-D2, C-3PO, Elsa, then maybe Mickey hat. It's probably going to properly tussle a bit with like the Mickey hat for now.
And I think a lot of the stuff is just going to fluctuate with the times. A lot of the stuff that I like to do is look at what's happening with the IPs currently in pop culture as kind of like a generic metric for just think if the Iron Man Golden Moment dropped whenever Iron Man 2, the movie, came out, like in that same time and place, how much Iron Man would be worth right now. But we got Iron Man kind of at the conclusion of a series of movies where presumably you're like, well, that's the end of Iron Man. He's ancient history. But like I said, with Doctor Strange 2 coming and the potential of, you know, a superior Iron Man or a variant of Iron Man, that could really reignite collector interest, in my opinion. I mean, I consider myself a fan, and it's made me a lot more interested in it. Yeah, if that's a gauge.
Let's see what else here. There's people still talking about their date of births being fixed. Okay, I need to do that. I do need to just put in a support ticket, and they're going to fix it.
You still haven't done that?
No, I still haven't.
Like 2 weeks ago.
I know, but I was just like, I was about to put one in. I thought I stumbled upon a Discord thing from one of the Discord moderators that are like, if you have a date of birth issue, like don't put it in. We're going to fix that. But it's like, that's not going to happen unless you put in a support ticket. So
I don't trust nobody.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
when it comes
pester him until it's fixed.
yeah, and I should, because it's like at the end of the day, it's my money on the app and my NFTs and stuff. So, okay, let's see. Some people are thinking spicy with the beginning of the M has to be Mandalorian. You would think so. I mean, it's fun to speculate, but at a certain point, it's like I'm also kind of just waiting for a letdown too, where it's just like not as great as people think. I mean, it could be Miles Morales as well, but it could be so many different things.
It's really hard for me to believe the Mandalorian thing, as much as I would love that to happen. You know, I'm a Star Wars super fan, but Disney Plus has been very, very careful with releasing their brands with release dates. If you notice, like Hawkeye, that corresponded to it releasing on Disney. Like a lot of the Disney Plus stuff has released in correspondence with an actual release date. So I feel like they kind of missed the chance. And if that was going to happen, it would have happened already. And Miles Morales makes more sense to me. If you go to the Marvel website right now, there's like a big splash page about the comic that we're getting tomorrow being available in a new reader format. They're really hyping the value of this Spider-Man #1 and getting a lot more people interested in it. We're even seeing kids comics on May 4th. Your kids can get for free at a comic shop a comic that has Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Ghost Spider, or Gwen Stacy Spider. So it's like Marvel's really pushing for that. So Miles Morales for me has a little more legitimacy in terms of that.
Yeah, I'm on the Marvel website right now. And I think I thought I saw it. I don't know if it's like the exact same cover art, but
it was there last night because I had to put together all the data for my video that just released today.
Okay. And is that video out today already, or are you releasing that tomorrow?
Yeah, I released it like at 1. That video is going to do poorly because people are already trashing the comic on Twitter. Like, this comic's only worth $70. Sometimes you got to look beyond the value of the comic and just look at what it adds in terms of canon. Like, that's a really cool comic. It's the first time Peter Parker and Miles Morales meet up. Like, it's a cool story beyond just the value of it. There's an actual, you know, story value to it.
It's like, not FA,
that's just
trash. It's not FA, trash.
I know. It makes me sad.
Yeah, but I do think those collectibles will be cool to have, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. I feel like you're going to want to collect all the Spider-Man stuff, especially if you're big on Miles Morales. Like, you want, you know, I would ideally think you would want to get the comic that he first meets Peter Parker. Plus, it's just cool to have, so.
And that's a Michael Bendis book, too. And, like, he's a major writer. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like people aren't going to give that comic a chance. So my video won't stand a chance either, but I'm fine with that. I cover every drop, whether people really care about it or not. The information's always going to be there.
Yeah. Sleeping Comics says, I wonder if they'll add Series 1 to the original Disney Golden Moments. Yeah, it sounds like the original Golden Moments was just kind of like a big marketing piece for them to kind of get Disney Plus going. I mean, not that it wasn't already doing great, but it sounds like it was more of a Disney Plus thing, which is why it was tied to each of the Golden Moments. And the series was more about just each of their, I don't even know what you would call it, studios, their licenses, like whatever you want to call it, that they also kind of wanted to put out together, because they did put them in pairs, and so they put it with the series. I'm more trying to just figure out what the hell are they going to do the next season, because I feel like it's been season 3 forever. You know, whatever the hell seasons mean on Veve. You ever notice that? Like, there's like season 3, season 2. It's like, when is the next season going to start?
It's like quarterly. It's actually, there's a Medium article. I'm almost positive. I'd have to get back to you on that. But ever since they made that change to FAFE tags, they kind of opened Pandora's box for going back into collectibles and shifting around that metadata. So in terms of them adding like a Series 1 tag, I would say they would never do that, because they're never going to go in and mess with the metadata, because it would set a dangerous precedent that the things that we own could be changed after our ownership. Like, you own this thing now, and they could go in there and they could change data about it. And so before I was like, that'll never happen. But now with the FAFE tag, like, perhaps those will say Series 1 at some point. I don't know.
And I heard those were proposed changes too. They weren't like 100% gonna make it. Like the way I read it and saw it, it sounded like they're gonna make these changes, and like there's just like not much you can do about it. But I also heard too, like these are just changes that they're proposing, and maybe they're just trying to gauge community feedback. I'm kind of upset I didn't at least at ecomi wiki with that video, which you commented on, and that whole video was just like was such a like unorganized rant. I was like, I'm just gonna put bullet points and just talk about these things. I'm not sure how coherent and like tie it all together, but like I'm gonna talk about it. But it sounds like the majority of the people kind of agree. It's not like
it was a good video, man.
It's mostly just to make sure that like Veve just needs to get their information right the first time when they put it out there. And if they are going to make changes, I really hope they keep into consideration people that have been investing, you know, hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars onto the app before they just make wide sweeping changes. So, really quick, Mason Fuzzy, what does Corey think of Star Wars Golden Moments? What do you think they'll do in the future? I think I know about this one.
Sure
I mean, look at a shirt, you'll probably know, but sweatshirt.
I'm pretty sure the next golden moment is going to be pulled from the Fab 50 set, Star Wars. If we're talking Star Wars centric, there's a BB-8 right now that's, you know, a physical statue that exists right now as part of that Fab 50 lineup. Because like I said, not all of the Fab 50 statues are currently built or even announced. But you can just do like a generic Google search, Disney Fab 50 50th anniversary, and you'll get to see a listing of all the statues. And there's some blogs and stuff that have taken pictures of all the statues. And the only other Star Wars statue that currently exists physically, other than R2D2, is BB-8. So I think if we see another Golden Moments Star Wars related one at this point, it's going to be that BB-8. Unless this would be crazy if they announce a new statue, because they are still currently announcing the construction and announcements of new statues. So if it coincided with that, like here's a new statue we're building and it's going to be on Veve, like that would be, you know, I'd lose my mind and it would be all over. But I would bank on the BB-8 thing just because it exists already.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Was that the question?
Yeah. I mean, just like I think it's like maybe a little bit golden moments of what they could do in the future. Yeah, I think you kind of answered the question. But they've always done golden moments in pairs, except for Walt. So there's going to be BB-8, and what's the other thing? What would you like it to be, and what do you think Veve would actually do?
It's weird because BB-8 kind of like R2D2 and C-3PO are paired together. Like naturally they go together. And so
BB-8 doesn't really have a counterpart. Roast Tico, I know you want it. I know you want it.
That would be epic.
Just driving whatever the hell that speeder was, where she almost just like blew herself up, as well as Finn, just her just flying that with an angry face and just almost just getting two people killed. Yeah. I don't know. Real
talk. Aaron over at My Collectibles said it best, and I'm always going to reference his video. All of those golden moments from that core set are pillars that everything are going to be built on. So in terms of the value of that initial Star Wars set of R2D2 and C-3PO, their value is just going to increase as more it doesn't matter what it is, more Star Wars comes to the platform, because they're always going to be the foundation on which Star Wars was built upon on Veve. Well, with that being said, if we actually get 3D statues that are exact replicas, like an exact replica of R2D2 that's not gold colored, and it's the first one of those, whenever we have interoperability, I'm not sure that as many people in the wide open sea, pun intended, are going to care that was the first thing released on Veve. They're gonna get what they think is the coolest, most limited, and whatever the mints are, and the most aesthetically appealing. So will Star Wars Golden Moments be the end all be all for Star Wars forever? No. If we're stuck on Veve for quite a while, yes.
Yeah, like I could see Golden Moments are the end all be all, no. But if they came out with I doubt he would be a secret rare, but if they did a ultra rare Darth Vader 3D collectible format, he would override. I do think he would definitely be up there. And if he was secret rare, yeah, he would definitely be pushed up there. But Veve seems to have at least Marvel does. Maybe Star Wars could be different, where they typically have the villain be the ultra rare. You know, you have Green Goblin.
That's true.
All that stuff. So that's a Marvel thing, but maybe is that a Star Wars thing? If they come out with some blind box formats,
we have 2099 now. Spider-Man. He's a secret rare, and he's not a villain.
Yeah, true.
But you're right. There's a lot more villains for sure overall.
Yeah. Let's see. Add that original. Can you check Goofy, please? Yeah, I can pull up Goofy really quick.
Let's take a look at Goofster.
Is that the
I haven't got to look at the market at all. I'm kind of curious to see what you're gonna pull up right now.
Yeah. I was gonna say, have you checked out what Goofy's been at recently? I mean, one guy in chat said he picked one up for 2.2K.
That seems crazy. Is that 50%?
Yeah, it's just crazy. Mostly because I think I might have to refresh this. It's mostly crazy because when it came out, like no one bought it for below 3K. So when like that huge dip happened and it was going for below 3K, people were just willingly taking a loss unless they won it on drop, right? So maybe that's the case. Like maybe the only handful of people that are selling it right now basically won it on drop because to them it doesn't matter. Like profit's profit. So I think
I'm still a lenticular card believer. If lenticular cards are a category like comics, and we start seeing a ton of lenticular cards, I think you're going to be happy holding pretty long on cards. And they kind of just lend themselves to that sort of mass production. If you look at them physically, there's just so many lenticular cards. It's a thing that Disney makes a lot of. So if that's reflective of what we see on the app, and I kind of believe that it would be because David Yu has built a lot of what's on Veve to resemble what exists in the physical world. So for me, like lenticular cards introduces something that could be a mass produced thing. It's produce.
Produce.
Made out of tomatoes.
Yeah, and bananas and all that other stuff.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's really just completely just dove bomb, especially right here that during February, between February 11th and 12th, like that thing just completely just nosedived. I bought mine at like 3.6. I kind of FOMO'd into it. I should have just waited, but I didn't. So it's not a terrible price, but it's like a price I would have gotten something cheaper because I probably would have gotten my Goofy by now if I did. Not that I don't believe in Goofy, but I would rather would have stacked Donald's or get a golden moment or something like that with that extra 3.5K or whatever. At least me personally. So
yeah, you very much have that flipper mentality, which is great. There's all kinds of different people on the platform doing different things, and you're very much a buy to flip. I mean, do you have things that you refuse to flip? Do you have like some core things that you're I'm never gonna touch these?
Probably one of them is like my Steamboat Willie that I got on drop. Like I could have flipped it so many times, but for now, like it's also the thing I use for people to find me, to add me on Veve as well. So I do think that is for now that is probably one hill I'm just gonna die on, which is Steamboat Willie. Like I'm just gonna if that thing goes all the way down to 3K, then so be it. And if it just stays there forever, then so be it. Like it doesn't matter to me, but I don't think it's gonna stay there forever. I do think it might have been initially overpriced a little bit at 10K because I don't think it should be more expensive than like maybe like R2D2 or something like that potentially. There was quite a few mints, and there's also, and that's the other thing too, like it's not like it's the only version of it. Like if people love Steamboat Willie but they just can't afford the ultra rare, there's two other versions available that people can grab. But with Star Wars, all there is R2D2 and C-3PO, and that's it. Like there's no cheaper alternatives to Star Wars stuff.
That makes sense,
at least. So
Steamboat Willie has a bunch of catalysts coming in the coming years, so I think long term you could see some interesting things with that one.
Oh yeah, but I think its price is always going to reflect somewhere in like the mid range of like the golden moments. Like it'll probably hang out around the 4 to 5K for a while until like Iron Man and Elsa and like Hat and stuff like that start really pushing up. Then it might follow along, because I think what's happening right now is people are just like, do I want Steamboat Willie or do I want this golden moment? And I think that's kind of the trade-off that a lot of people are doing in their head, which is why it just kind of just went straight down for the most part. So let's see. I want a Doctor Strange collectible, says Sun Eater. I agree. Doctor Strange would be sick.
Yeah, Doctor Strange would be sick.
Yeah, I think the hard part is like, how would Veve do it? Because so far, like, they haven't made any collectibles in like actual humans, or in this case, actors like image, right? Like, can't use Benedict Cumberbatch's like his actual face and stuff on these 3D collectibles, right? Because that's probably a whole nother layer of.
I don't know. I mean,
they...
we've not seen that. Like, we've never seen a. Yeah, because Spider-Man doesn't count because he has a mask on.
And Storm, I think, I mean, doesn't look like Halle Berry or any other like Storm versions that we've seen. She just looks like yeah.
Yep, and our Sue Storm is the retro recreation of the original Sue Storm, somewhat. Pretty close. I mean, the uniform's pretty close to that original. Here's our costume, boys. And the thing's over there like, I don't need no pajamas. Get out of here.
Their pants never tear. The Thing, the Hulk, their pants never tear. Not that I want to see, but it's just a weird. Maybe it's Marvel magic. Who knows? Yeah, so maybe that's it. So I'm just kind of curious. Like, maybe they are waiting for more. Maybe they'll probably do like a what if looking version of him, of Doctor Strange or something. Who knows?
I mean, I think all of the what if properties are just going to be increasing in value because that Doctor Strange trailer is just littered with references to the what if series. I mean, everything from the way the buildings are coming apart in that trailer, like directly references that Doctor Strange episode. What happens if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? The Ultron Century. I mean, just there's just a list of things. So I definitely feel like what if is a pretty strong thing right now.
Yeah, and we're also kind of getting to the point too where like I feel like a lot of those actors are kind of done, and like when you think about it, like some of them have been playing the same character for like 10 plus years, 15 years, and they're just like, as far as I know, I think Robert Downey Jr. said he's like done playing Iron Man, and I would imagine Chris Evans is maybe done playing Captain America. Maybe they'll do a cameo 5-10 years from now or something like that where they appear in a future film, but like playing an active like movie role, like I would imagine as an actor it gets tired doing the same thing like year over year over year. Like
you got a super chat.
I know, I just saw that at the corner of my eye.
You're awesome, John.
John Franklin, I appreciate it, dude. Okay, so I have a common Amazing Spider-Man and an ultra rare Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Bought them both at good prices. Would take a loss, but I could maybe 1.2k, 1.3 for both. Paid 1.6 hodl or get cheap gold. I would just hodl them both, dude. Like both of them are great. I think flipping them now and potentially like paid 1.6 for both. Right? So rare, ultra rare. No, the ultra rare one. Okay, no, that one is the K. I got that confused with like the ultra rare normal Spider-Man. I'm like, wait, that one's like probably 8K right now. To be honest, I would just say hold them. But if you absolutely wanted to make a trade, I would probably get Donald and Daisy. I think gem for gem, that's the best golden moment on the app right now. Gem for gem. But if you, in my personal opinion, I would say just hold on to them because I do think they're going to go up in price. I will say,
what's Iron Man at now?
Iron Man. Yeah, where's Iron Man at?
I would rank, if Iron Man's anywhere close, this is just me and I'm not the market guy, so let's not get it twisted. But with Doctor Strange incoming and the potential of Iron Man in there, I don't know if you've all watched the trailer, but basically there's speculation that Professor X, because we're seeing Patrick Stewart, who's listed in the credits like on IMDb. So Patrick Stewart's going to be in that Doctor Strange. He's addressing Doctor Strange, and there's a kind of judiciary council right there, which a lot of people are speculating is the Illuminati. And if the Illuminati holds true from what we saw in the comics to what we see in that movie, that panel includes Reed Richards. It includes a dude called Superior Iron Man, which is like a magical Iron Man. I'm not 100% on Superior Iron Man. I need more research on that. I've seen deep fake videos of people taking Tom Cruise's face as the character, which would be epic, Tom Cruise's Iron Man. But if any of that rings true and we do see, a version of Iron Man, I feel like that would be pretty good for the value of that.
Yeah, I would say Iron Man's not a bad pickup either. He said he does have an extra $500 to $500 to invest in to get towards a golden moment.
He's a Marvel pillar. If you buy into the pillar thing, he's definitely a pillar.
Yeah. Common Amazing Spider-Man and ultra rare. Bought them both at good prices. Would take a loss, but could maybe both 1.6. That's tough. I would say I'm not against the idea. I do think so far what we've seen is that the golden moments, Iron Man's not reflecting that right now, but I do think when he does bounce back up, he'll go back to where he was before, if not a bit higher. I mean, all the golden moments have had the same trend. So I don't think it's actually a bad idea to sell both. And if you can make up the difference, I do think you could probably get an Iron Man for sub 2100. I would shoot for Iron Man, but if you really want to hold on to those gems, or if you don't want to use them, I do think Donald and Daisy are next best bet. But as of right now, I do think Iron Man's probably the safer bet over Donald and Daisy, in my personal opinion. So that's a good call. I didn't think about Iron Man. He does have the extra gems to spend. So,
and look where Iron Man's at. He's never even experienced a catalyst during his lifetime on the app. Like there hasn't been a movie or major event that's had Iron Man to get people like super amped about him. But he's always been pretty. Yeah, you've been pretty consistent there, Iron Man.
Yeah, gold boy. Yeah, I've been looking at the. I've been saving 2K gems since last week. And just been kind of holding on to it and looking at it. But Iron Man was the one I was just kind of keeping my eye on. I'm like, if this next announcement's a flop and I have 2K, like I might just grab Iron Man. And it just makes sense because I think at that point he could be hovering around 2K, or at least close to it. He's still dipping right now. A little bit of, he's kind of flattened it off a bit, but like the listings have been pretty much a plateau. He's only like, he goes up 10 listings, goes down 8, goes up 5, goes down 10. Like the listings have been flat. It's not like the listings have skyrocketed all the way up to like 400 or something like that. Like right now they're at 280, and that's pretty much it.
I think people are just less apt to list things like golden moments now. I think a while ago people are more likely to use them as liquidity for other things, but at this point they've kind of cemented themselves as very, very important, and thus people are listing them less and less.
Yep, agree. Plus they've also just had time to mature on the market.
Yes.
I do think Donald and Daisy could get to that point, but they're gonna have to go through all the growing pains of all the people flipping and all the gem squeezes between now and then and all that stuff. So it could take Donald and Daisy 2, 3, 4 months for them before they really mature into their price in the meantime. So
it's a strong double FA. Like nothing against Donald and Daisy at all. I mean, you're getting two very strong franchise characters together in one piece. It's legit.
Yep. And it's just funny because like it also depends on just like how many people we get on the app, right? If we get a lot of Marvel diehards that really like Avengers, like Iron Man's gonna do really well. But on the other side of things, we could get a lot of Disney fans that maybe aren't like the biggest Marvel people. Maybe they didn't even care for like the Marvel acquisition. They just love Mickey, they love Donald, and like then Donald and Daisy does really well. So it's kind of interesting too to just see different fans or different communities that like jump on the app and stuff. So I think that can make,
and different fans in different communities are more active in the social spaces too. Like I just feel like you're more likely to see a picture on Twitter or a Twitch stream or a YouTube stream like this where someone has toys and collectibles behind them, and they're more than likely going to be Star Wars or Marvel or DBZ or something like that. Not very often do you see, unless it's like a die-hard collectible, generic collectible stream where they collect everything and they give you the history of everything.
True.
Then you'll see some of those like priceless Disney, pieces. But generally, you kind of see those little niches of collectibles more often.
Agreed. Let's see here. Sleeping in Comics, where I said this a while ago, he's like, Miles, wait for Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait for that movie. $20.99 in that movie. That's Miguel O'Hara. It's a really cool costume.
And America Chavez too, collectible.
Yeah, Doctor Strange, America Chavez is there. In that one scene where you see the woman being like kind of like pulled apart and there's the big portal behind her. If you look at that portal, it's a star, because that's what she does. She opens star portals through dimensions. It's really cool. She's going to be a major player in that movie. And she's a really, really cool character too, with like a really, really cool history. I think she's the first Latin American woman, lesbian or, LGBTQI, I don't know all the initials, characters in comics. So there's like a lot of current value to her in that sense as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike says, I feel you both are a fun credit to the Veve community. You have a theme and then come together for combos like this. Very cool. I appreciate that. I think definitely Corey has a much more consistent theme with what he wants to do with all the retro gaming and the intros and outros and all that stuff. I'm just like, let's just put some, let's throw some blue and some purple at it and just hope it works. Like that's.
It does. It's a nice vibe. I like it.
It's the best vibe.
The only downside to the stream is I can't hear your vibey music.
True.
That's the only downside.
Yeah. Liquid Momentum earlier when you were talking about BB-8 says BB-8 sucks. That's all he said.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, tell us how you really feel, Liquid. BB-8 sucks. It reminds me of the scene. I don't know why I randomly thought about this, but did you ever watch God, is it Billy Madison with Adam Sandler? Where they're making the argument. It's like, Donkey Kong sucks. Like, I forgot what was.
You suck.
No, you suck. He's like, no, I think it was it. What was the other game? That was like, Donkey Kong sucks. And he said like Mortal Kombat's better. I forgot what like the other game was that he was arguing for.
Remember.
I don't know.
Doyle, I have a feeling something bad is gonna happen to you and your whole family.
Pretty much. Let's see. What is chat saying? I want a Nemo and Dory Gold moment. Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
That exists. There's a Fab 50 statue of those two, so very, very feasible that we could see that.
Yeah, that's probably why Karma Finlay brought it up, so they probably know. J-Man21 bought my third Donald and Daisy. It's low priced. Yeah, dude, go for it. I do think these will go up. If between Lady and the Tramp and Donald and Daisy, which one's going to go up most percentage wise? I would say Donald and Daisy. I would say the only thing that I was going to come up with an answer to it, but someone mentioned something earlier that I'm going to tie into it, so I'm going to hold off for now. But Lakewood, Green Goblin, or Wonder Woman, they are about the same price right now. What would you say? Like instinctually, what would you say, Corey, between those two?
Instinctually, I would go with Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Which Wonder Woman? I guess you would, if you're an FA true believer, you're gonna get the FA Artist Alley one. If you're an aesthetic true believer, then you'll probably go for the non-FA one.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Green Goblin, I do, but I think people tie a lot of value to Green Goblin. Obviously, OG Spider-Man villain, without a doubt. I'm not even sure. What is it? 314. I'm trying to remember the Spider-Man that his FA is from. It's a very, very small number. So he's been around forever and he's had staying power. And I just don't know. It's hard. You're picking between a hero and a villain, like when it comes down to it. And you're picking against franchises too.
Mm-hmm.
I think your personal preference is going to play into that. And which do you feel that Wonder Woman and the DC is going to have more weight moving forward, or do you feel Green Goblin and Spider-Man is going to have more weight moving forward? And if you're just looking at numbers, Spider-Man No Way Home, I think, is the number 3 top grossing box office film historically. Like if you look at Titanic, Star Wars, that recent movie that's still out in theaters is number 3 of all time. So Spider-Man obviously still has a lot of value, and pretty much everything attached to it, inherently is going to keep value. And that doesn't even take into account like the comic nerds that may even not like the MCU because it's not canon specific.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, I mean, also if you're bullish on the idea of like gamification and villains playing a big role in the VVverse and stuff, there is that as well. But J-Man21, would you sell Spider-Man Common FA? I'm assuming the Amazing Spider-Man one, to get Lady and the Tramp? I wouldn't personally. I do see Lady and the Tramp kind of settling around like 1.3, 1.4K, maybe 1.5 after the kind of the dust settles with the whole Golden Moments / Chili Pepper thing. But I see Common Spider-Man doing much better than that, at least me personally. Plus, I kind of wanted to do this one day where I wanted to get all the NFTs that are on the loading screens for Veve. So like the Amazing Spider-Man plus the Batman Who Laughs plus like a couple others. I'm like, it'd be kind of cool just to have like the loading screen NFTs. Cool. Plus all the other like weird looking NFTs that aren't on there yet. I guess those are actually Tokidoki like characters or like figures that aren't on the app yet, but they are Tokidoki. Okay. Like the weird like the weird like green dinosaur looking thing. Same thing with like the donut eared like whatever, kind of like those things that like don't look like actual NFTs, but they are.
Mhm.
Those are actual like Tokidoki characters or something like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I think it was
I learned something new. I like that.
Yeah, I think it was a YouTube channel I stumbled upon the other day that someone said, like, you ever wonder what these characters are? They're like, oh, these are actually Tokidoki characters that just might not have been on the app yet. Like they have yet to be released. I'm like, oh, cool. It's kind of weird.
Do you think all of the golden moments are now linked in price? So let's say partners and RT, like some of the front runner golden moments start to run. Do you think they're just passively going to pull the value of those quote unquote lesser tier golden moments just by association? Or do you think their value is going to be completely unrelated?
With something like Walt, I think it's completely unrelated. I think he's just doing his own thing. I do think R2 and C3PO, their values were definitely, I think, in my opinion, kind of tied together. Like as C3PO went up, as R2D2 went up, C3PO definitely kind of lagged behind a bit, but I think people started seeing the value in the Star Wars, and as people started actually having enough liquidity to afford C3PO, as well. So yeah, I do think some of them are kind of tied together, and I think there are certain just like psychological blocks that people have, like, oh, I'm not, that's why a lot of NFTs kind of just get stuck at like the 1,000 gem mark or at the 4,000 gem mark, or like it can't break above it, or it can't, yeah, those hard like round numbers, like it just, for whatever reason the community just will not let them like just kind of go above or below those numbers. So
that makes sense.
Which is why like I feel like C3PO took a while to break 5K, but then once it did, it just like ran up to 6K no problem, and then announcements happen, then they just flew back down. But
yeah, it did.
Yeah. But I think some of them are connected kind of connected together. Maybe they'll be loosely organized, but who knows? A year from now, the prices could get so large and the numbers could get so large that it's hard for them to kind of keep a algorithmic percentage away from each other. Like if one just flies up, then it's just too high, then it's just too much. Like it doesn't mean everyone's gonna follow each other.
Makes sense. I was just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. No, I would not. Paulo said Donald Duck is a huge character, just wouldn't sleep on him. Definitely bigger than Iron Man.
Historically, 100%, he's right.
Yeah. I would say yes and no to that, because it's hard, because like Donald is definitely huge historically, but just like for your average I hate to use this word because like it sounds bad, but it's not. But it's like your normie. Like I don't think even the word like normie is like a good or a bad thing.
Layman would be another way to say it.
It's like a layman, or it's just like your everyday person that first walks into, becomes a Disney fan or walks into Disneyland or whatever it is, right? Especially with all the modern media, like just there's been a lot of MCU movies, there's been a lot of Marvel, there's been a lot of Iron Man being shown, and especially as Iron Man being presented as basically the leader, or like the Iron Man's definitely one of my favorite characters on the Marvel team, like in the MCU just in general. Like he's the guy that snapped the Thanos gauntlet to like end it all. Like he's the one that figured out the whole plot to kind of undo everything. Spoilers, but it's just
you kind of have to weigh like the pulp culture value of a certain thing in a certain point of time, and in the point of time we are in, I don't think the average person knows. Donald Duck's been in more comic books than any other character outside of superheroes. Donald Duck's been and has more film time than any other Disney character. Donald Duck's has orange juice. People just don't know that stuff. Should they? Yes. Like, should people be doing that due diligence to figure out the value of an IP and the history of an IP? 100%. But I think a lot of people, like you said, are just bombarded with what they're seeing on TV. And right now, I guarantee you can't even search like Doctor Strange without getting 1,500 Iron Man references. And if you search Donald Duck, unless there's like a current Donald Duck, like right now, Donald Duck's in the most recent iteration of the Mickey Mouse. What's that Mickey Mouse show? Our lenticular cards are based on him. I did a video on it and I can't even remember.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's the most recent iteration of Donald Duck, but I don't think an average person, if you showed them a picture of that, you could be like, what's this Donald Duck from? I think they would know it's Donald Duck, but they wouldn't know what it's being used for. And there's an inherent perceived value regarding that. So I'm definitely not dunking on Donald Duck. Like, I understand the value of Donald Duck. I'm just saying I think more people are aware of the perspective value of Iron Man.
Yeah, I just think the Iron Man fans are a bit more abundant than Donald fans, but maybe the Donald fans are a bit more diehard. Like if you just get them on the platform, like there's no doubt that there's at least 13,333 Donald Duck fans out there that are willing to spend money on a golden moment like this. But are all of them on the app, and is it your everyday person and all that kind of stuff? It's who knows. Let's see. Execu Speak, hey everyone, what's up? Darnell J, and I bet you have a Donald Duck too.
Nope.
I do. I paid a bit more than I kind of wanted. Someone mentioned that earlier, that I paid 1.9K for it, which is, a bit on the high side. I kind of FOMO'd into it. So I need to learn to kind of just slow down when I see the market kind of like pump or go down, like during. It's probably because I'm usually on my friend with usually my friend or my brother when like the market drops after a big, like when the market goes up. After a big drop, I'm usually on the phone with them to kind of like walk them through stuff, but then like I kind of get them, like they start getting me to FOMO a bit. They're like, oh my god, it's pumping, like should you get it now, should you get it? I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. So maybe next time I'll just be by myself and be like, just chill out, just relax, if not everything is delivered, just wait. And if listings are still going up, just wait a bit longer. It's probably a good video idea actually in and of itself on what to do when what to kind of keep your eyes on, like the floor, as well as like deliveries, also total listings, like all that stuff plays into effect when you're buying in the secondary market.
I concur.
Yep. Grant, Richters, would you rather put 1K into Veve or Omi? Right now, Veve for sure. I think, especially with everything being like ridiculously discounted as much as it is. I do think there's some bigger plays to be made on Veve right now. But then again, this is as someone who doesn't own any Omi. Personally, I know like the value of Omi, but right now, I do think there's some big moves that can be made on Veve right now with just like, even with just 1,000 gems. But then again, Omi is going to have some big exchanges and some big things happening over the next like month or two. So
yeah,
that as well.
I've got both, just to be safe.
Yep. Low Mint Secret Rare Spider-Man 361 for both Valentine Golden Moments. Which one is that? Let me look it up. Spider-Man 361. Is that one?
So many Spider-Man on the platform now.
I know. There's so many like amazing Spider-Mans and this and that. Like it's kind of hard to keep up with it. Did it catch it when I was trying to type in? Either that or like my computer's just going like super slow. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, which one is that?
About comic?
Yeah, the comic.
Oh, that's the Carnage, right? The Carnage
that's
comic.
The Carnage one. Oh, I don't know. What do you think about that one?
That's a Mark Bagley cover, which is pretty significant. He's a really legit artist. I don't know if it would be his first cover on the blockchain or not. I have one of each except for the secret rare, just because that's an awesome book, dude. I believe in that book. I really like it.
So he said what?
Is he saying what version of it?
He said Low Mint Secret Rare Spider-Man 361 or both Valentine Golden Moments. Because like right now it's at like 1K. The Low Mint Secret Rare. It depends on how low the mint as well.
Because you could be getting 9 Master Collection points a day. If you're under that, was that a 60K release or a 30K release? If that's a 30K release and that mint's lower than 1,500, then you're getting your 6 points for a secret rare plus an additional 50% points for 9 points a day.
Yeah.
If it's 60K, I think it would need to be under 3,000, right? Math.
Yeah. Well, there's 600 of them. So if we just take 5% of that, that's 30. So you would have to get a mint 30 or lower, right? Or is that how the Master Collector works? Or is it overall?
No, 600. If that's 600 for the secret rare, then that was a 30K release, which means he needs to be under 1,500.
Okay.
For the low edition bonus. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if it's under that, I guess it depends what your goals are. Your goal is trying to get Master Collection points to use for the drop raffle, system whenever that rolls out. Because for me, that's a lot of points. 9 points is a lot daily. I don't know. I just don't know what your goals are, man.
Yeah. It really depends. Let me catch up with chat really quick. It seems like Darnell J thinks we're just trying to pump our bags by telling people to buy stuff. I don't know. I'm a huge yeah, like go ahead.
I don't have Iron Man, and I don't have
Yeah.
Daisy or Donald Duck. And if you watch my channel, like I literally don't do speculation at all. Like zero. The only time you'll ever hear me speculate on anything is whenever I visit other people's channels. But you know, to each their own. Everyone can have their own opinion.
Yeah, MD. I think if you're having issue logging into your account, I had the same issue. I had to like uninstall and reinstall Veve. That's what I had to do.
And if it persists before you do the uninstall, actually clear like the memory cache in the app. So open up the app, clear all the memory caches for it, then uninstall it, and then do a reinstall. That for me has worked in the past as well. I tried to do just the traditional uninstall, reinstall, and it didn't work. And then I did that memory cache clear, and it did work.
I agree, Alex. He's saying that prices are super cheap. I think everyone is going in hard, thinking the next drop is going to be huge, like Darth Vader or Mandalorian and whatnot. I think they're overcompensating. I agree. I think this next drop could be a total flop, which is why I'm just waiting until whatever it's going to be. I think there's a good chance it could just be a flop, or it's just like, hey, we finally have Black Panther, which don't get me wrong, but like Black Panther's a huge character,
awesome,
but it's
dude. Like I'd be very excited for that comic.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that is big enough to like cause the market to like surge again, or it's like, all right, this is a big enough drop to like where people could actually invest in and like get back on the market.
Fantastic Four 52, I want to say, first appearance Black Panther. I don't know what the fair market value here. Let me look. The fair market value for that comic's probably quite a bit.
It would be really cool if they did the first appearance Black Panther and the 3D collectible on the same day. Like they did the comic in the morning and then the 3D collectible in the afternoon. That'd be sick. Hold on.
I can Google foo here.
Sorry if I coughed in your ear, but I muted the stream, so. Let's see.
$54,000 at 9.6. Not too shab.
Yep.
Be an A tier for sure.
Alex said the Pepper tweet wasn't meant to be taken seriously, so it could just be a nothing burger, and prices will fly shortly after we find out. The VVAMA tomorrow could trigger some big market moves. I completely agree. I think based on certain announcements, whether they say or don't say, if they say like, dude, like the whole Pepper thing was just, you know, I just wanted to say that based off of maybe compared to our older golden moments or whatever it is. Like if we get a bit more clarification on future drops or anything, I think really at this point, yeah, if we can just
is
get
that
anything
considered just an interim AMA? That's just like a damage control AMA they're doing. That's not like the actual AMA, right?
Not that I know of. It's just like an interim like AMA. Like I'm not even sure how long it's going to be or what they're even going to talk about, but I'm kind of curious myself. So let's see. J-Man, need a Yona golden moment? Yeah, that would be sick. Mason, if Mason Fuzzy, if he knew everything, his collection wouldn't be down over 35%. That is true. If I didn't know everything, I would have sold my Steamboat Willie at the top, bought golden moments. And I think that's also another, when we're talking about popularity and stuff, like as much as I want like Steamboat Willie to do really well, only a handful of people are going to really not only understand the significance, but also be able to willing to invest in that significance historically, right, of Steamboat Willie. So as much as I want it to like fly back up to 10K, I don't see that happening. And I think like continually it's going to keep itself priced somewhere in like the middle of like the golden moments and stuff.
I think come 2024, whenever Steamboat Willie goes up for copyright, you know, public domain, everyone's going to know exactly what Steamboat Willie is. And that's either going to dramatically increase the value or dramatically decrease the value. It's going to do something to the value, but you're never going to have to explain to anyone because we're going to be seeing it on the news. Is Disney going to lose Mickey Mouse forever? Tune in. And it's going to be a big subject of conversation.
Can we check the chart for ultra rare Fantastic Four number 5? Sure, I can do that really quick. Hopefully I can just be lazy and just type in number 5 and not type in.
You wish.
It's probably not going to let me.
That's Doctor Doom. That's a really sick ultra rare cover and rare cover.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the ones where he's like kneeling down, right? I believe.
Yeah, he's got like a hand out and there's like rubble behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Epic. Super epic comic.
Oh no.
I mean, if we do see Reed Richard as a member of the Illuminati and Doctor Strange, that introduces Fantastic Four. You know, there's a crazy fan theory that the Marvel universe that we've seen isn't the primary one because there aren't any mutants in it. Like the X-Men don't exist in it. So maybe we've been seeing like an alternate universe, and we're just now going to finally see the normal universe that has all of those X-Men characters and Fantastic Four characters and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So what are you going to look up about it? Can we check the chart? Yeah. I mean, it had an all-time high of looks like about 1250 or so. Now it's at 900. I mean, overall, like, I mean, that's still a dip of about what 30% or so. That's still pretty darn good. No, that's down. Yeah, 33%, whatever. That's still great. I still think like the things that have held their value very well are like the ultra rare and secret rare comics, as well as like golden moments throughout this like gem squeeze for the most part. Especially if we're talking like the big 5 comics, like Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four 1 and #5, and you know, a handful of others.
If you look at any conservative tier list from crypto and comics and crypto, Sleep In, Boodle NFT, any of those, they always have that comic ranked as an A tier. I mean, and there's a reason. There's a huge fair market value. It's a major first appearance. I mean, long. I don't feel like you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Alex Winters asks, "Are you guys Canadian? Because you seem super nice." No.
No.
And we're not. We're definitely not Canadian. And it's not like we have anything against Canadians. You know, we're not
Alpha Flight. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're not sorry about it. I was kind of making fun of my collectibles for the way he said sorry, or just Canadians in general, the way they say sorry. They say like sorry.
He's the best, man.
Yeah, he is awesome. But
talk about a guy that knows everything.
These YouTubers get low positions first, then pump it. Not saying these guys are pumpers. And honestly, even if we were, like, it's at the end of the day, I think it's up to each people's decision, like whether they want to buy an NFT or not. Like if I would hope that whatever I say, people cross-reference it with like another content creator, or at the very least, like another person they trust that's good on the market. So that's what I tell people all the time. Like, don't just take my word for it. It's not financial advice. Like, buy what you want for the most part. But I think most people are on the same page when I'm not just saying like, oh, buy Disney because that's what I have. It's like, buy Disney because it's statistically on the graphs, it's the most stable thing that's been happening since the gem squeeze. Same thing with like the ultra rare and secret rare comics. Like, nothing has been as stable as those things on the app so far. Like, you know, that's just my take on it. And if I probably was doing a pump and dump thing, like I'd probably be shooting like some like for some like really weird or like obscure like Cryptkin or like some like independent artist thing that's like not doing well, that has like a 2.5% fee, and I'm like trying to like, I don't know, and trying to get people buying into that so I could actually like see the graph go up and like, okay, now's a good time to, I don't know, like. But even then, like, I don't think people would like buy into it. They're like, really? Like, Bigfoot Cryptkin should go up to like 700 gems? I'm like, yeah, go get it. And people are like, why? I'm like, I don't know, because the memes. Like, it's not gonna be enough.
I didn't do speculation, so
yeah, I don't know.
My channel is pretty much speculation free.
Let's see. Pixel Trader, do you need a hug? That's crazy talk. Yeah. Do your due diligence. It's your money. Nobody on YouTube is an expert on NFT. All speculation. Exactly. That's why I think it's changed month to month. Like every month, like there's a new hotness. Right now, like you said, it's golden moments. The month prior, it was, you know, black and white series, and then the month before that, it's Spider-Man. You know, like every month or even every few weeks, there's a new hotness. You know, oh, it's all about the FAs now. Now it's all about the season 1 collectibles. Now it's all about the comics, the common comic craze that happened like towards the end of last year. I remember that was going on, and like all the common comics were just like flying off the shelves. So it's like it changes, right?
And like real talk, like the external catalysts don't always if Spider-Man No Way Home, which like I said has been a smash hit movie, it's broken records, it's immensely popular globally, yet how are the Spider-Man collectibles doing on Veve? So even though I'm like really excited about Doctor Strange, I'm going to give you all the Doctor Strange trivia that I know, whatever the opportunity presents. Obviously, not always do the movies and what's happening externally of the app actually influence the prices on the app.
But yeah, no, John, everything, or not John, Darnell, like, I'm agreeing with like everything you're saying. Like if I've recommended something that's not good, or that's not, that you don't consider to be a blue chip or whatever it is, but even then it depends on people's price points, right? Like not everyone can afford a blue chip if they only have 500 gems at the end of the day. I'm sure they probably could, depending on which comic, like, and that's why I need to get more well versed in comics for the most part. But yeah, you already know this, Darnell. So Donald is classic, or so, no, John said, let's face it, Iron Man is just cooler than Donald. That is true. I will say that. Donald is classic. No, the world over. Iron Man more geographically popular to specific regions.
That's true too.
Yeah.
But in the same argument, you could say then that Pilly Fantasy should be the most valuable between the three, because Pilly Fantasy is known by 60% of the world's population because of APAC influence. Like, it's kind of, I don't know. Like, there's some weird metrics that we're trying to apply to these different collectibles. And there's a really good content creator from Taiwan called Dance Buddha Panda. I think I got his name right.
Yeah, I think I saw his video. He actually came up with, like, I watched one of his funnier videos like today.
His videos are super entertaining. He's a really likable guy. But he focuses on a lot of the products that are specific to the Taiwan, China, Japan region, and what people think there. And he uses metrics like YouTube, like their local country YouTube metrics, to look at how many people are viewing different IPs that are related. So instead of listening to people like me say, well, this will be really popular in the Asian market, check out a channel like Dance Buddha Panda, who, you know, is from Taiwan. He's intimately familiar with those IPs. He's going to give you boots on the ground data and true feelings about those things. So can't recommend him high enough. I've added him to my list because, you know me, I'm always trying to dig up as much dirt as I can on this stuff.
I don't even know what Darnell is saying. Why would African Batman buy a Mickey? LOL. It should be African. I have no idea what he's saying. Should I
don't see it anymore. Yeah. You must be scrolling. You must be way up.
Yeah, I scrolled down a bit. Should I sell my Mickey hat for 2 gold moment Donalds? I wouldn't. I would just hold on to it. African Batman. Oh, there's a person named African Batman. That's why. Never mind. I would just hold on to it, to be honest.
I have to Google
96 viewers and less than 20 likes. Hit that like button. Yes. Yeah, at first I'm like, is he, like, what is he getting at here? But yeah, there's an African Batman. I've seen him before, actually.
There's a Nollywood superhero video that popped up first for me, and I was like, that's ridiculous. But actually, like, the legit thing looks awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I smashed the like button so hard, I cracked my phone screen. Sorry about that, Pixel Trader.
No refunds.
Yeah, no refunds. I watch Mason on YouTube, and we would all follow you like zombies. I would hope not. I hope people just aren't following me like zombies or whatever. I think that's why people ask just tons and tons and tons of questions. And even I've changed my mind plenty of times on the way I even just like view the market for flipping. You know, what is a blue chip? What's a grail? Like that stuff all the time, and kind of what are the current trends, right? Right now, the new hotness is golden moments, and like, although they could not become quote unquote the new hotness anymore, I still think they're going to retain their value extremely well compared to most of the other NFTs on the platform. Like I can't think of, except for maybe some, you know, comics, like it's really hard to think of like just golden moments just going under, right? I think that would probably be the last series of NFTs that would ever just go under, just like completely just not be relevant anymore. At least me personally.
You know me, I'm more bullish on comics than collectibles in general, for my own weird reasons, because I look at collectibles historic, like if you look at collectibles for, let's say, like the last 100 years, like how many failed collectibles have there been? You know, Norman Rockwell plates, Hummel figurines, Hot Wheels, Beanie Babies. But comics have been traded for, you know, almost a century now and have held value. Yeah. So for me, I'm like 80-20, you know, 80 on comics, 20 on collectibles, for that reason. But don't use that reason as your reason. It's just something to think about, you know, whenever you're positioning yourself. Plus,
like, comics just have undeniable history of just, you know, you can look at the history and, you know, previous sales. You can look at numerical grades of like the 9.8s and 9.6, and like what are those selling for, and how like popular they are. Like with these collectibles, like we don't have that. Even like something like Todd that's based on a physical collectible, like that was only like a few $100 like 3-4 months ago, 5 months ago. Now it's about $1,000 last I heard. And yeah, so it's a bit harder, you know. It's
weird.
Yeah,
it's
like,
hard.
Yeah, comics are great. If I probably understood comics more, and if I wasn't so impatient about flipping and like understanding the market, because like when comics come out, there's not much that changes, right? But I feel like I should at the very least understand the trends in the market of the like top 10 comics, you know, the high-end stuff.
I would argue the changes actually increase the value of some of the comics with the exclusive covers that are rare and ultra. There's less of, we're already getting digital print runs that are smaller than the physical print runs. You add rare, exclusive, and ultra rare exclusive covers that literally don't exist anywhere else in the world, plus scarcity. For me, like that even increases. They're based on a physical value, and now you've added kind of like a wild card value to it. I don't know. Like comics are wild, man.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, because it's, what is it? Is it like 80% of the mints for comics go to the common cover, right? Like the common variant, and like 20% go to like the like uncommon, rare, ultra rare, secret rare. So like it's funny because like let's say there were comic book collectors that went on the platform, even if only 10% of them gave a shit about like the comic variant covers about like Veve, there's still not a lot of covers in general to like go around. So like there's still going to be a market there. So like even if only 10 out of 100 comic collectors that go on the platform, there's still plenty of common covers that has like the original art. They're like, I just want this. Like, cool, there's plenty of those. There's actually, you know, 48,000 editions of this common cover. But you want the other cover exclusives, that's a low mint. So like there's gonna be, I think, more than enough people to go around for that one.
I hope so. I hope you're right.
I think so too. Like I think people, especially comic collectors, are gonna try and find ways to stand out compared to other collectors, and you know, Veve exclusive variant covers I think are the way to do it, especially if you can get on early. Leonidas,
just like that Doctor Doom comic you were looking at, man, that's a sick exclusive cover.
That is, I wish I could see the
cool cover.
I wish I could blow up the picture for the cover, but like ecomi wiki is just being funny. But that is a really sick cover. Leonidas says, would you sell Batman Becky Cloonan for buying a golden moment like Iron Man? I personally probably would. That's only because I'm more bullish on just Disney and slash, you know, Marvel in general over like the Batman Black and White series. Like Becky Cloonan got smacked really hard, and Iron Man did too. Like, don't get me wrong during this this dip, but I do think Iron Man's going to recover a bit better than Becky Cloonan. And even initially, like Becky Cloonan will probably pass up Iron Man for a short period of time, but next Gem Squeeze, that's going to really test which one's going to be better. If you're thinking long term.
And kind of a cool piece of history just to tack on some trivia. Becky Cloonan is the first ever female Batman artist too. So like just intrinsically that has some value because of the artists and the provenance behind that. So just something to consider.
Yeah. Does it really, is that okay? And that's the other thing too. Like at what point are things like that, information about the NFT, is it just like a cool trivia thing, or is it something that actually gives it additional value? Like the fact that like Homer and Bart were the first golden moments on Veve. Is that enough?
There's history to the app, and there's history for. So the first ever female to ever pencil or be the artist for Batman, I would argue, has more historical significance than the first Veve Batman, because one applies to the world and one applies to an app. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense. But even something like, oh, Homer and Bart's the first golden moment on the platform, you know, for Disney or whatever. Do you think that's enough to like for people to maybe like fork over the money? Like, do you think people are jumping on the app thinking
I don't think it's going to matter as soon as we have interoperability. I think as long as we're all stuck on the platform, it's going to continue to matter. But the moment we're able to, you know, cross-pollinate outside of the app, when and if, I don't think it's going to matter as much. That's just my 2 cents. Cool. I could be totally wrong, just like with everything we say.
Yeah. Well, it's so subjective, right? When you're talking about things like that, whether you value it or not, I don't know. Maybe really enjoy that artist, or maybe all I do is collect pieces that are from like minority authors or artists or whatever it is. Like maybe that's just my shtick. Like who knows? Especially when it comes to
that's the reason you have me here, right? Like you're the market guy. I know random trivia about all the things. So if there's a trivia moment, I'm gonna capitalize on it so I can contribute in some way.
No, I appreciate it. And it brings up good talking points, right? About value and how it all affects each other, right? You know, it's those little meaningless trivia questions and things like that. Some people do value it and affects the market, or sometimes things are being overlooked on the market because people don't know certain aspects of, like even like Mr. Cartoon and Cat Bronson. Like for the longest time, people were like, oh wait, like who's Mr. Cartoon? They didn't realize it till like weeks after the drop, I think, that like, oh, Mr. Cartoon's like kind of a big deal. And the market then all of a sudden reflected that, and then it flew up in price. So I don't think that's going to be the first or the last time that's going to happen with some NFTs, because people just overlook the description and the details of the NFTs. So,
and then also as the platform starts getting more high profile people on it, you start getting more celebrities, more major YouTubers unlike us that have massive followers. And then they mention a bit of trivia like I just did. Suddenly that little piece of trivia that seems kind of maybe insignificant to us has a whole bunch of value, and then prices reflect that.
Yep. Let's see. Deadpool 3 needs to drop a movie where he fixes all the timelines in the universes. Possibly. Just him traveling around and fixing things. I would love to see that. That'd be pretty funny.
When's Deadpool 3? That's the Deadpool 3 is going to be our first entry of Deadpool officially into the MCU last time I checked.
Yeah.
Which is cool because that just opens the floodgates. Let's see.
Alex Winters, R2-D2 will be close to Walt one day. Mark these words. Elsa is also cheap to stack in Iron Man. Alpha alert. We out here pimping, baby. Veve life. Y'all are dope. Steamboat OG. I agree with everything you just said, Alex Winters. Yes. Steamboat OG. Yes. But that, you know, at the end of the day, it's not what I think, it's what the community at large thinks, right? They're the ones that dictate the value and how significant stuff is. I could say, dude, Steamboat Willie should be huge. It should be more than Walt. Like, what are people thinking? Like, but at the end of the day, it's not what I think, it's what the community thinks, right?
Speaks.
Yeah, and as for like R2-D2 being close to Walt one day, I just don't see that happening. Like, it's a big piece, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll
Star
probably
Wars didn't acquire Disney. Disney acquired Star Wars. If you want to look at it in terms of like a franchise value perspective, Star Wars doesn't own Disney. Disney owns Star Wars. So you would think just by that sort of subservient connection, there's always going to be a trailing value.
Yeah, and I think
which is nothing against partners, and it's nothing against Star Wars. I think that's just how the spacing's going to work.
Yeah, and if you think that, and I'm willing to bet if there's a Star Wars fan out there that's willing to throw, let's say, just, you know, let's say like 150 grand at the app, do you think they're not going to pick up a Walt statue too? Like alongside there are 3 R2-D2s and there are 3 C3POs. Like, I think most people understand the value and how big of a deal like Walt and Mickey together.
Probably the most valuable Star Wars set on the app is owned by Dozer over at the Comic Way. He has the matched mint 1976 for R2-D2 and for C3PO. He matched those mints with that date, 1976. I would argue that that's probably going to be historically one of the most valuable match mint sets that exists on the platform. It's crazy.
Yeah. As a pairing,
he posted that and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, as a pairing, that is ridiculous. That, and I do think there's got to be a market for either being able to sell multiple NFTs at once, or just having like a set sales, or the match pairing. Like, I remember the Gale, I forgot what the number was, but it was cool because he had like a full set of Voltron, all the same mints across all 4.
Nice.
Which is hard to do. Like, it doesn't even matter what number it is. Like, even if it's just a random 4-digit number, like actually going on the market and finding it and like refreshing it enough to like fish it out, like out of the secondary market and stuff, like that's pretty impressive.
I tried to do it with the Craven saga, you know, because we had the 6 comics, and I was like, I'll just get a common, I'll match them. And I must have spent, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours before I gave up, because it's a matter of like refreshing the numbers. You know, you almost need like a team of people to work with you to match mints across that many things.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, is like if you're doing the Craven saga, I would imagine you'd probably have to buy 4 or 5 commons, I would assume, if you want to finish it, because it's like, all right, if these 2 or 3 numbers just don't show up at all in this next drop or these next few drops, I can maybe rely on these other mint numbers to like finish the set and then like
hard.
But at that point, now you're spending an absurd amount of money, which is why it's difficult. It's really impressive that he got both of those matching mint numbers. So
you better drinky. You're sounding a little hoarse, my friend.
I am. I'm just gonna fly through these things unless there's like an actual question.
Yeah, crush them. Let's do comments.
How does the Amazing Spider? Yeah. How does Amazing Spider-Man 252 common comic graph look? Thanks. Yeah, that's the super limited run of Spider-Man. How do you think that one's gonna?
What was the question? Sorry.
It was just how does the graph look for 252 common Spider-Man, the super limited run? Like how do you think that one's gonna play out? Is it just being strictly carried by the fact that it's like super low mint? I think
it's not a major first. It's weird because people say that's the first appearance of Black Suit, but what did I read? So chronologically, you would have to look at what is the war? It's Wars is in the title. And basically all the heroes, the Avengers, Spider-Man get whisked away to like Battle Planet or something. The Secret Wars. The Secret Wars is the first time where Spider-Man actually encounters the symbiote, touches it, and then, you know, gets it. And that's the like origin of the Black Suit. But like, it's either like chronologically or release date wise, this comic is the first time we see that suit. But in terms of like a character itself, there's no major first appearance in it. So inherently, let me just double check it. That one's amazing. That one's Amazing Spider-Man, right? It's not like Astounding or anything. Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah.
I remember it's been a while since I made that video, so my knowledge on it is a little bit dated, but I'm almost positive there isn't. Yeah, there's no major first appearances of any kind. And I'm pretty sure the Go Collect value for that one is pretty
low,
modest as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and actually the total listings are at an all-time low, 47 listings, and the only other time it was that low,
650 at 9.6.
Yeah,
so at a pretty high grade, $650. So definitely wouldn't be normal. If that was a normal print run of 30K, you would probably class that more as like a S tier, like A, B, probably like a B or C tier, because Sleeping Comics says this on some of his videos, and he's 100% right. And he's the guy to go to for comics. You know, anyone listening to this, like, I'm not a comic guru, but he talks about how Spider-Man's just like a totally different animal, and you need to consider it as a totally different animal. And just the fact that that comic cover arguably is a first appearance for that suit could hold some value in itself. That's also a homage cover to that. What's the most valuable Spider-Man comic?
Amazing Fantasy
that ever sold. Yeah, that's a homage cover to that as well. So it's pretty cool. I was
going to mention that. But yeah, I do think like, I mean, the total listings are at an all-time low, which kind of tells me that those gaps between, you know, I mean, also the listings have gone down too, but the price has gone up a tiny bit. I do think this thing could run pretty well after the fact, but then again, you know, there's really nothing that stands out about this comic other than the fact that it's just low mint, right? But it's also not technically the first appearance, but it's the first time like you said, that we had a Spider-Man symbiote suit on platform, right? Or was it?
Not sure about that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to confirm that one without knowing.
Yeah. Frankie Boy says, thoughts on R2 higher than 10K, or is that it? It can go above that. Given enough time, any and all of the golden moments, I don't want to say they're all going to be above 10K. I do think some are going to maybe struggle to get above 10K, like even a year from now, 2 years from now. But yeah, like I totally don't see a reason why R2-D2 can't break the 10K mark. Got a Superman 4-digit mint, 3,000 for 2.7 a day. I'd say that's a steal. That's an insane steal if you got it today. Isn't that like more than half off? I don't know how low Superman has gotten. I know he's just kind of getting pummeled in the market for the most part, but
poor Superman.
Yeah. Nomad with NFT says he farted, so appreciate that.
Oh.
Kieran Baker, and then pay 30% to Apple commission. Yeah, never mind. Meat Angel says, I can't speak for the entire Spanish community, but Pokemon and Dragon Ball keep being part of the community for a long time. I could see that. And I think Pokemon's kind of like an international phenomena, though, right? It's not just like, I'm sure some communities or just some parts of the world.
DBZ stuff over on Nifty Gateway, maybe. It was either Nifty Gateway or it was Palm. I want to say it was Nifty Gateway, so I'm kind of curious about the whole DBZ thing. Let me look at that really quick.
Yeah. Superman's at 4K right now, so if you're able to, it sounds like it was more of a snipe than anything, Dax G. So that's an awesome deal. Hell yeah! If you got one for 2.7, it sounds like you just sniped it at the right time. Destiny Rose, hope you're having a great day. Can you pull up Daisy Duck lenticular card, please? Of course. I'm just gonna pull up all the cards, and then we'll look at Daisy's first. Daisy. So she's at 400 right now. Wow. She is at 400.
It's a fire sale.
It's a fire sale. It reminds me of those. Reminds me of those like furniture, those like mattress center clear out. Like it's like everything must go.
If you don't take it, we're gonna throw it in the dump.
Yeah, when you can
Pandemonium.
You can just get it for free out of the dump. Why come here and pay? It's like true.
My wife said she's kicking me out. I love those commercials, man.
She's taking half my stuff, so just take the other half. I don't care. Just starts breaking down on the ad. Okay, so we got.
Look at how many listings there are. Holy smokes.
Yep, 500. She's up there. She's up, but it's been plateauing for the most part for the last, I would say 3 days or so. So it's actually not looking too bad. I still think just in general, the Disney cards are going to recover very well. I'm not saying these are grails by any means, but these are like very, very high A tier NFTs in my personal opinion.
Is that dip on the 14th because of the announcement?
Because of the second Golden Moments announcement, I believe.
There's like a big dip right there.
Yeah, right there. It goes up to 550.
Reactionary.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, oh, market's finally recovering. It's like, nope. Disney Golden Moments. Get the hell out of here.
Here's a monkey wrench for you. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, people are talking about like fees and stuff like that. The more I research NFTs on OpenSea, the more it reminds me of the tech bubble in 2000. Potentially. I haven't done a lot of research on OpenSea, so I wouldn't know. Jericho says the first Veve exclusive cover is Fantastic Four number 13. The rare, right? Is it the rare?
Yeah, that's the con. It's a con exclusive cover. I think that's
Hell
FA for the Watcher, or
yeah, that it was the Watcher. Yeah, it was the bald dude, right? Kind of like kind of
that
like,
good shiny head.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't know about that. People ask me if I wax my head. I do not wax my head. I think it's, I don't know why you would anyway.
Do you have like a Tim Tam man like dip in the top of your head from your headphones yet?
Occasionally, yeah. Once I take them off, yeah, there's a bit of a dip, but it goes away, I think, after a while. So, but it's not like
it's gonna
a
be permanent after we do this for about a year.
Oh, I can, yeah.
You're gonna have a gutter right there.
Yeah, maybe I just need to get like earpieces or something just to simplify it. Oh yeah, I forgot. Tomorrow I'm actually doing a like a debate on Veve Vault's channel.
Vault's channel?
Yeah, I'm gonna be debating Crypto Chris on I guess it's Disney versus everything, but it's technically like Disney / Star Wars versus everything else plus Marvel. Because I guess if we did actually Disney like with Marvel and Star Wars, it'd be kind of like
lopsided.
It'd be kind of lopsided, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not like preparing for it by any insane margin. Like I might get some information and like some figures, but other than that, like not really. I think it's just
right good. Now Chris is studying. He is eating some spaghetti to carb load. He's doing brain exercises and meditating, envisioning his defeat of you, and you're over here like, I'm not even that. I probably wouldn't even look at a chart.
I might pop some real, man. I might pop some electrolyte tablets beforehand, but other than that, not likely. You know, I guess that might be the best I'll do. Let's see. Profitable.
Is this all back and forth in the comments? There we go.
Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Vibes, Mr. Planet Profit. What's up, dude? Appreciate you stopping by.
Hey.
Pixel Trader, if you guys were gifted 10,000 gems, how would you spend it right now, assuming you have to spend it now and you can't stack anything? Okay, 10,000 gems. If I had 10k gems right now and I couldn't stack anything right now, let me look at the golden moments first.
Yeah, that's it. I'm missing Iron Man. I'm missing okay, so I'm missing my Pixar pillar, so I'm missing my pizza truck, I'm missing my Avengers pillar, so I'm missing Iron Man, I'm missing Superman. I don't have, you know, the FA for Superman. And would I have anything left after those three?
Sorry, repeat those again. I was like looking up something else.
Superman, pizza truck,
yeah,
and Iron Man.
Okay, so Superman's 4K.
Those are the three I'm missing that I would love to have.
Yeah, so with that, that's 5.4. And then what was the last one? Iron Man? You would have 7. You have like 7. You used up 7.6k, let's say. So you
Mickey
have
hat? Could I get a Mickey hat in there?
Nah.
Some Fantasia action?
You have
or
2.
Am I out?
You have like 2.2k left. Or like 2.3. 2.4. Sorry.
Honestly, I would probably gain MCP points and then just grab some of those exclusive rare and ultra rare covers and comics. I would kind of just fire sale my way through those. Try to not to do any duplications so I can maximize my point potential.
Nice.
But in terms of, like I said, I'm like 80% comics and 20% collectibles. But the collectibles I have, I consider like somewhat the bigger ones, like Partners, Star Wars, Elsa, and kind of a few of the major collectibles that I'm missing that I kind of consider pillar pieces, foundational pieces that everything will be built on would be those ones I mentioned.
Yeah. For me, I don't know if I would just want to simplify it and just be like, all right, 10k, I'm just going to get a Todd and a Donald and that's it. Donald, like lenticular card. Because I do have a Todd. I've been meaning to get one. And even now, like, even though I've been wanting to get one for like the last like month, I like at any point I probably could have sold my, the last 2 months at any point I could have sold like my Mickey Steamboat Willie and then like done some other stuff and like gotten a Todd, but I've always been like, nah. So maybe either Todd and Donald and just like, all right, just keep it simple that way. Because I do think Todd will be an amazing piece like in the future. If not, then I'd probably get some sort of combination of like R2D2 and because I think it fits perfectly, R2D2 and Iron Man. Yeah, because R2D2 is 7.9 and Iron Man is 2.1, so both of those together are exactly 10k. So
nice.
That's probably what I would do.
It's hard not to just blow all 10k on a single thing. Honestly,
yeah, exactly.
Like, what would be the smartest way to break that up?
Yeah.
It's a thing that my wife and I joke about, you know, if we had a spare, you know, 10 grand, 15 grand that we're going to throw into this app. And I'm like, well, we could spend that with like 2 things. Like we could buy 2 things and that would be it. That would be all the money.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially if you're focused on golden moments or, you know, other things like that. I think also stacking isn't a bad thing either. Like definitely stacking lenticular cards or stacking some of the really inexpensive, but like popular Marvel Mighties like Ghost Spider and stuff like that, I think aren't bad either. That'd be more of a slow burn, right? Versus like just selling off one big thing. But
that's the kind of investor I am, though. I'm more of a buy the thing, sit on the thing for a long time, don't think about the thing, just leave it in the vault. I have a few like liquidity flipping things that I like to do, but for the most part, I'm just make strong buys that I believe in, let them sit, and just relax. I'm too busy making videos to be messing around. That's why I watch your morning market recaps, because I just don't have the time to mess with all that stuff all the time.
Yeah, it is a lot to it's a lot to recap. Or, you know, I know you're a big comic guy. I mean, you can get a lot of common comics with 10k, but that'd be such a headache to buy all of those. That'd be such a headache to like, yes, confirm buy, yes, confirm buy, yes, confirm buy. Like that would, I feel like that would take you so long to get you through 10k worth of gems if you're just doing
comics. Sadly, are like the worst for market buys too, because like as you scroll through the comics, they refresh and you're like, where's the one comic I'm looking for? What is this? Witchery.
Kieran Baker. I can go to my local store. Okay, yeah, that's something else. The Becky Cloonan info is cool, but it just doesn't add value in my opinion. It's more just a cool fact. The mints are too high that people who are trying to buy it for that fact are low in my opinion, says John Bebo. I agree. I think sometimes there's just cool facts with certain NFTs, but I think some people try to play it off like it's a value piece, like it should be more expensive because of this, but I've said it before where if you have to explain something or if it's not explicit on the details or the app itself or like the NFT, like it's not a well-known fact then if you have to explain it by any means. So Mr. Planet says he's spot on. Ken Penguin, my favorite YouTubers, going to be an awesome stream. I agree, and thank you so much for the compliment, Ken Penguin.
Yeah, you're awesome, man.
Jim Tomaselli bought a common Steamboat Willie, not a low mint, at 1100 right now, or just in general. That seems a bit high, unless it's like a low mint or something. I don't know. Do you think that was a bad? Oh, back when
or a statement?
Yeah,
okay.
It sounds like a statement. It says, was that a bad time to buy back when it was at 1100? Yeah, that was kind of high at its peak. If that's the case, like I would still just hold Steamboat Willie. Like there's no point in selling it for, a 50% discount, right? And just eating that 600 gem loss. So at least in my opinion. No matter with NFT, my mom bought me a Mr. Cartoon cat for 700 gems Christmas present. She's like, I would have bought one for me too. Sorry, mom. Okay. Mr. Planet Prophet, that's why I think Sorcerer's Mickey hat will take over Star Wars in the long run.
I think that's whenever we were talking about Disney owns Star Wars doesn't own Mickey. I don't know, man. Like the Fantasia hat has some sauce, but
I don't know if it's better.
I also think it's one of those things where does the current population know enough about that to know what it is?
Agreed.
It's kind of like the Lady and Tramp thing we were talking about, I guess, if you want to like liken it to something else. It obviously has immense value, but it's aged value. It's a target demographic, and the more that we have to target a demographic, you could argue the less valuable it is because of a lack of mass appeal. I mean, I love Mickey hat. Like I said, if I had 10K, that'd probably be one of the things I would try to grab.
MD says, wasn't Star Wars released in 1977 though? That's what he said. It
was, but the posters for R2, like the very first time you actually saw R2D2 and C3PO, and this is coming from Dozer at the Comic Way, and that dude wears like a Mandalorian helmet during his streams. He's a physical collector of everything Star Wars, has like every Star Wars comic, so he's even more of a Star Wars geek than I am. And the way he presented it was the very first time you actually see R2D2 and C3PO is in like movie posters and concept art, which is dated to 1976. So in his eyes, the first appearance is dated to those. That was kind of his rationale for it.
Yeah, damn, dude. Bob Bobby, frequent donor and an awesome dude. He said, I messed up and sold my SR Spidey for 6.6K. Please spread the word and help me find the buyer at deck rate. That is rough, dude. Oh, that sucks. That's gonna be tough, dude. I wish I could, like, I'm sure I could probably hit up some content creator. Like the first person that comes to mind is Kobe Collects. He's done this before where he's been able to get in contact, or at least like know people that know people to get in contact.
Let me look on Twitter right now, because usually whenever that happens, someone posts a, did it just happen, I wonder?
It sounds like it, or it seems like, if you post something about it, Bobby, I don't even know if we're friends on Twitter, but if you make a post about it, like I can link,
nope.
Yeah, at least I
thought I found it.
Oh, you did?
No, I thought I did.
Oh, okay.
It was not.
Yeah, if you make a post, Bobby, if you make a post, I can like link like Kobe Collects or something like that and have him potentially help you out. But dude, that really sucks. That's a lot of money.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, dude. Like I the only person
they need to put like a warning
Yeah.
because some people in the world use commas instead of periods, like as part of their like numerical system. So it caught you. That's one reason you see those mistakes. But honestly, if you're selling something and it's that far under what they should be like, are you sure you want to sell this? It's listing
Yeah.
far less than what the average sale is for this. Are you sure? Hard times, man.
Yeah, you would think that they would, it says like you're selling it for 10% a floor. Are you sure that this is something you want to do?
125. Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah. There's 1,000 mints for the secret rare, but still, that's mistype. Got that pick going around. Yeah, dude, that's so rough. I'm just not sure how like Veve fixes this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure how I would fix that. How I would even search it. Like, I'm such a just a Twitter noob.
Right here's a post. Someone else posted a low mint Elsa for 1,400 instead of 3,400, hoping that this reaches. And then the first comment under that, I saw an SR Spider-Man just sell for 6,600. I couldn't believe it when I saw it pop up. I feel very bad for the seller. Hopefully both of these items get returned.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I still can't find it, but oh well. Same thing. Like, actually, one of my friends also texted me too earlier today. He said he saw someone sell their Walt for I think like 5.5K instead of 55,000, right? So it happens enough that people just
whenever
just
the
gotta be
amount
careful.
is that much different than what the floor is, there should be a warning message of some kind.
Yeah. Or maybe if they if an NFT's been on, if it's been out for longer than a couple months, we should have a decent idea of like what the floor is, or there's not so much movement happening for that item that it shouldn't like tax the app too much, because if they did that for something like an NFT that just dropped on market
That's
day,
true.
it would be so volatile. I'd be like, hey, are you sure? It's like, yes, and, kind of mess things up. But after it's been out in the market for like over a month, like there shouldn't be so much movement on that item that it would like lag the app or do anything crazy. Mistyped, damn, dude, that sucks. Wish I could
Wish we had a magic wand.
Yeah, dude, I wish I could help you out. That sucks. Just kind of scroll over, see if there's like any other like burning questions that we might have missed. I'm just gonna catch up with chat. Seems like a lot of people are just kind of talking amongst themselves. Kieran Bicker says, what percentage of the 2 million are duplicate accounts for bots, etc.? How many individuals do you think are like actually on the app? And that's actually a interesting thought. Like they say, oh, we have 2 million active users, and they said active users are just what, people that just open the app at some point and like interact with the app like once a month. So,
and then also Crypto Chris just made a video and he was talking about kind of like the top 5 reasons for the gym squeeze right now, and he had some really good points. And one of the numbers that he referenced in there, I think, came from Puddin Cheeks, who puts out the how many gyms are on the app kind of thing. And there's like 131 million gyms just floating on the app right now, unused gyms just chilling in wallets. And again, you have to wonder how many of those wallets are tied to accounts that are now disabled, but also with the user base growing as quickly as it is, how many of those are brand new users that say loaded 25 gyms into their account, tried for 6 drops, were like, this is a scam, and then just left the app?
Yep.
If let's say 250,000 people did that, that's like 6.25 million gyms right there. So it's almost hard to trust all these numbers that we're seeing right now, just because there's so many variables that could be influencing those. That's just my 2 cents.
That's yeah, I could see that. I've even had friends like that I've got them on the app, and they load up some gems and they just lose drop after drop after drop after drop, and like that's all they do is like they get on the app, they play the drop, they don't win, they log off, and that's it until the next drop, right? So there's a lot of people that just do that as well. They don't even play the secondary market. All they do is play the drop and they get off. So
and I mean, if you're just loading for like, say, a comic drop, maybe you're just loading 10 or 15 gems. Like, what are you going to buy with that anyway in the secondary market?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like we know who the buyer is, but Yeah,
I would be very surprised. I'm a pessimist at heart. I'm hopefully pessimistic about people.
Yeah,
I was a police officer for a little while, so
yeah,
I just don't have much faith in humanity.
exactly. I feel like even if it's, and that's the kind of like the other interesting thing too, as well as like, let's say you gonna put both of us actually in the hot seat here. If you sniped something like that, like let's say a Walt statue, or maybe it's not something that big of a grail, but like let's say it was like an uncommon, not uncommon, but let's say it's an ultra rare Spider-Man. That's usually around like 7K or something like that. You just happen to be scrolling in, you see one for 700. It's literally 90% off, and you buy it. Do you think like you should have to return it because you're a content creator? Like I think that's one thing that like people just kind of assume that like, oh, because you're a content creator, like you should give it back. Like that's the right thing to do.
If I was contacted in any way, even if I wasn't a content creator, then I would return it. If I wasn't, and like, if I don't go dark, you know what I mean? And I hear nothing, then I probably wouldn't return it. Yeah. But that's kind of like, I have a thing on my channel. If anyone donates anything to me via my channel, I give it to my subs. And if someone donated me a partner statue, I would give it to my subs. Like that's just how I roll, dude. Like that's just my thing. So I would do my best to try to figure out who it belongs to and get it back to them, because that's just trash, man. Like imagine that's you. Like imagine you have a Walt statue and you list it and you mess it up for whatever reason. You're tired, you work 12 hours during the day, your kid's screaming, whatever it is, and you make that mistake and that happens. Imagine how you would feel. It would just be like earth shattering. And we also just don't know people's financial situations. We don't know how essential that money was going to be to them, whether they were going to offload it off app with like an escrow or something like that. Like that money could have been significant to their life. So it's pretty trashy just to be like, oh, they're screwed. Like tough on you.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if I did find, I don't know, a few ways I'd go about it. Like I'd probably go out of my way to try and find the person, or at least just try and contact them or something, or if they went out to contact me. But the other thing too is like, if they are impossible to contact, or they're just so upset that they don't want to deal with it, or whatever the hell the reasoning is, I'd probably just keep it. Or maybe I would do a thing like you said for subs, or at that point maybe I will have something set up where it's like, hey, because I bought it for 700 gems, which is like a ridiculous discount, maybe I'll do like my own little raffle thing where it's like, all right, if everyone pitches in X amount of money, you know, up to 700
and
together,
the average
and like we give it
user
away,
on the
it's
app
like,
isn't watching all these channels. Like they're not hip to Twitter, they're not hip to Discord, they're not watching YouTube. They just opened up the app, they saw something and they're like, holy crap, someone must really need money, they're selling that for 6.6k gems, absolutely, and they buy it. In their head, they may not even think they did anything wrong at that point. We just don't know the level of involvement and understanding people have when interacting with the market. We can't assume that they know as much as we do. You know, us looking at the charts every day and having these conversations, like we're very aware of what the value is of everything, but not every single person's like that.
Yeah. Resell asks, return it meaning for free, or return it meaning you return the NFT they return? I would hope they would return the gems, because I did buy it off of them. They would just give me the difference of gems, you know. I would do the same thing. Like if you know, let's say at least if I were to do it, like let's say Corey was like really looking for a specific mint of some sort of NFT, and let's say I just stumble upon it and I buy it and I can't get a hold of him for like a week and the price is pumped, like I would just sell it to him for the price that I bought it at and just one for one it, because you know, I'm close friends with them for the most part. But
and
at
a
least
lot of the big content creators like facilitate those transactions because there's a lot of visibility on it. Like I know, I think Randy does that, right? Randy Chavez over on his channel.
Yeah, they just do trades.
There's ways of doing that to reduce the risk associated with it.
Yeah. I mean, I trust Corey enough to, you know, we could one for one trade stuff, but when it comes to someone else in the middle or whatever it is, like I wouldn't blame them if they wanted to like get an escrow, or I would help them get an escrow. But yeah, like if I did, let's say, buy that off them for 700 gems, which was meant to be 7K, I'd be like, cool, like, yeah, let's do the trade. Like, just give me the 700, I paid for it, I'll give you back the NFT, and then you know, whatever it is. So
unfortunately, Veve's going to be getting that tax both times, right?
Yeah. They're going to be getting that tax, but I think it's a small lesson for them to learn. Just eat that 8.5% fee and just deal with it. Let's see. My money is significant to me, and if I were the person I bought it from, I wouldn't return my gems, and then I wouldn't otherwise. I would definitely consider returning it. Yeah, I don't think you can be wrong either way. I do think there is something about being a public figure and a content creator that you are kind of more expected to be take the high road and be the upstanding person. And I would totally do that if someone did, you know, if I was not a content creator and I did that, I probably would just keep it. Like if I was just completely like not a content creator, I don't have a Twitter with my name on it and all that stuff. Like the only reason why I made like a whole VV3, like because my name was something different before, but yeah, I do think that's an interesting thing. And the other, I think the flip side too is that if there was a content creator that did keep it, I don't think we should be getting upset with them either. Like I don't think we should be like, hey, you should give it back or whatever. It's like me personally, like. I respect their decision either way. Like I prefer that they return it, but I don't know. That's a tough thing to ask. Like I don't think that they are like a terrible person for not returning it. I don't know. What would you say to that? What if someone did?
I would judge them.
Yeah,
I think everyone's entitled to do whatever they're gonna do, 100%. But I wouldn't be publicly throwing shade at anyone or anything like that, because like you said,
I guess that's what I mean. Yeah.
Everyone's an adult. Everyone has to own and claim their own actions, and whether I had an issue with it or not, people are going to make their own judgments on what they think about that action. So they may lose subs, they may gain other subs that are more cutthroat, you know, the kind of people that are like, yeah, that's what they get, they should have known better before they listed it, you know, nothing wrong with that. And so I think as long as you do whatever you think is right, then you are in the right, because you're staying true to your own core moral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's probably a better way to explain it, is that like I respect their whatever decision they make. I respect it to a certain degree, but there will be judgment from the community one way or the other, right? If you decide to keep
100%.
it, you know, it's up to that's probably one of the best things I do like about just being in a democracy slash you know, free market. It's like you can do whatever you say. It's like that's what the people are like. I don't know. It's like sure, the CEO of some company could just go out and just say a bunch of racist stuff, but like the market's gonna react by just not buying their shit. Like it reminds me of the you know, it's not even like political, but it's like I remember Gillette, like not too long ago, they were kind of, you know, they had that ad where they were kind of like smashing men, saying like boys will be boys, like, or whatever that was. There was kind of like a big outrage about Gillette, kind of like, you know, saying guys are doing this, this, and that, and like they just stopped buying the razors, and they're just like, fine, we're just gonna stop buying your stuff. And like the rates went down, and they're like, okay, like the free market, like money talks, like as much as what happens, but it's like at the end of the day, it's all about. I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that tangent. Whatever. Let's get back to chat. I was kind of going with the thing that I kind of started almost siding with the person that just like kept the NFT. Then I don't know, but
come for the tangents, stay for the market advice. There you go. There's your Andre Vick soundbite.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dog world. Yes, that's the phrase. A resale, my money. Okay, already read that. Veve needs to have a different system for selling high ticket items. Multiple safety features to ensure the seller is really wanting to sell at a given price. That is true. There's a couple times where, yeah, if you're, you know, there's probably a handful of people that probably under the influence of something, probably alcohol, but who knows what else, like selling or buying stuff and just like unknowingly doing it. It's like really easy to do that on this app, since all it literally takes is 3 taps, like item, buy, yes, and that's it.
It's over.
Yep, then it's over. Dog eat dog. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't be like me and get scammed out of $400 for trying a new for trying to buy a meta pirate. Don't know what that is. Not according to
a lot of really shady.
Yeah.
Do you watch CoffeeZilla by chance, James?
It sounds
familiar with CoffeeZilla at all?
Super familiar. Let me see.
CoffeeZilla is a YouTuber, and he basically like unveils scams. He's like, I get scams, you don't have to. And he does kind of like investigative journalism on different scams and scammy content creators. And he just recently did one on the NFT space, where basically this group of guys created all of these shell NFT organizations and hired people to act as the face of them, and then just rug pulled. They'd use their own money to purchase the NFTs to prove that they had like market value. So people, you know, as these NFTs were listing, they're like, oh man, they're getting bought up, the hype is real. Then they would buy in, then they would rug pull. And they did it like 3 times for like an astronomical amount. He just made that video a few days ago, but I think it's really good information if you're in this space and you're operating in the Wild West that is OpenSea and with all these random NFT projects.
Yeah, I could have sworn Aaron over at My Collectibles might have been part of one of those. Like I don't think it was like a hefty investment, but I could have sworn I don't know if he actually invested in it or like he like was about to invest in it and then like it just something off just seemed off. But like they made like a fake website and they made it look like that like people were buying the NFTs and they're getting sold out and all this stuff. Like they go really in depth and and like it gets pretty ridiculous how in depth it gets with like their scheming and
a lot
stuff,
of money
right?
to be made there, just like botting on Veve. There's a lot of money to be made there, so there's a lot of work that goes into it.
Let's see, just be careful guys though, you guys need to do your due diligence. They set up a fake minting page that I thought was the actual drop. Yep. Damn Bob, we got to spread the word, don't let the greeter emotions ruin you.
Definitely check out that Cockzilla video.
Yeah, I will.
Like he really dives into that exact thing that they're talking about.
Let's see. Sorry, I actually skipped this question from BJN1962. Best use of 5K gems right now: lenticular set, or buy Elsa plus Iron Man, or a 3PO and keep the 1K gems. What would you say to that?
Honestly, I would probably do Elsa Iron Man just for diversity. Those are two major pillars. And you would have or C3PO and keep the 1K gems. I don't know what it's hard for me to give advice without having some context. Like, I don't know if you're planning on holding these for just like a couple months and trying to flip them with a surge. Because if that was the case, then maybe Elsa and Iron Man. But if you're holding like super long and you want to have more liquidity to play with, then I would be going C3PO and having that 1K for whatever's about to pop up. I don't know.
Yeah, I would, of those two, I probably wouldn't go after the lenticular card set. I would say Elsa and Iron Man, but if you do want to have some gems to play with, then I would go C3PO. Like if you want to play the market game and do flipping and try and like earn your way up, or if you don't have a means of adding a lot of fiat, just like, you know, month over month. Like if you can easily, you know, it sounds like you're putting in 5K gems or you already have 5K set up or something. If you're able to do that
Dino's
over and over and over.
Gang.
Oh,
You're
Dino,
now,
what's
man.
up? I know. Gosh,
You're about to get egged.
Yeah, he's about to egg my channel, bro. Damn, he's gonna egg my channel. It's gonna be covered in egg splat. Yeah, if you're able to keep putting in gems on the app, I would probably go with Elsa Iron Man. But if you can't, or if like you like playing the marketing thing and you want to do flipping and really make use of this market dip, then maybe 3PO and 1K gems. So, glitcher page, Dane Corey in here. Yep. Never meant an NFT on any page other than that official page. Dito, Egg Gang, let's go. Yep.
Let's go.
Nah, I don't have the crew right now. Just the one loner egg.
One lone egger.
Yeah.
He was
The
a bad
egg.
egg, that one.
It was a bad egg. Is that from Willy Wonka?
I'm not sure. We've got a fun little community of creators, don't we? Like, it's cool that we're all able to like chill on each other's channels and stuff. It was kind of like whenever I started my channel, I was a little nervous that, especially for live content, that's why it took so long to get into live content, because I was like, I don't know, you know, are people gonna like spring traps on you whenever you go on the channel? Like, this guy's not a guru in anything. Let's, you know, oust him and gatekeep the Veve from him or something. But yeah, it's been really chill. I've had a great time.
Yeah, Dino's definitely, I think hands down, probably one of the most entertaining content creators on the platform.
I actually did my very first live stream on his channel yesterday. The days blend together for me right now.
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday. We had a good time.
Yeah, this week definitely went by quickly. Now we got some spicy eggs. Oh god, don't remind me about the spicy
eggs.
Spicy
Watch
pepper eggs. Oh god. Yeah, so I definitely think the community, we've talked about this before. Someone asked me before, like, oh, can you do a tier list of like the content creators of like which ones you like the most? I'm like, first of all, it sounds like a terrible idea. It would just get me in trouble.
Yeah. If
I put certain people at S tier or A tier and like these guys at B, and like, oh, do you not like them? Or even putting people in boxes as to like what they specialize in. Like, you know, I like to think that people are more complex, or, you know, are much more open-ended and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
even like
over-
channels like Crypto Chris. Crypto Chris does a lot more than crypto. Sleeping Comics, he does a lot more than just comics. Like a lot of these people that have a certain tag in their names do a lot more than just what that tag implies. So it is kind of hard to be like, this person just does this thing, you know? I think that's why on my home screen on my channel, there's like a bajillion VV content creators, because basically if I find your channel and I'm like, this guy is an awful or this girl is an awful, I just add them, you know, VV content creators I like.
Hell yeah.
Falanini.
Yeah, Falanini. Yeah, Falanini. Would you sell Batman 72 and Batman 55 for a Disney card? Thank you so much for the dono, dude. I'm actually pulling them up right now. I appreciate that. So 72 and 55. 72. Which one is that? 72 and 55. So Gary Frank with a Carmine Infantino Robin. Is that right? No, it's not Batman. Is that right? It's not Carmine, is it? It's not Batman.
See, Batman 55 is Gary Frank.
Yeah.
And then who's your other one?
It said 72 Batman, but that's Carmine. I don't think you meant 72 then. Maybe you meant 71.
Yeah,
I think you mean 71, which seems to fit that price range a bit more.
Gotcha.
Where is it? Because usually that Batman's at the bottom. Yeah, 223.
You're like a super pro on those.
Selling both of those. I mean, I'm always, I'm just biased, but I'm almost always in favor with switching your DC stuff over to Disney. That's just me personally. But I do think just the black and white series does have a lot of room to grow, but I do think it's going to take a while.
What about for like short-term flipping? Do you take like that tax into consideration whenever you're deciding? Because, you know, you get those low fees for flipping DC stuff, whereas you get like kind of bludgeoned about the head and neck with Disney.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you want to keep flipping, like if you're looking for like a longer term hold, got all these eggs on my channel. Dude, my channel's getting egged, bro. I can't even see. I got egg everywhere. If you're into flipping, I would just hold the Batman and both Batmans. But if you want to just kind of get something longer term and kind of set it and forget it, I would go with Daisy. The Daisy card, in my opinion. You might be able to get a mini. I'll try and snag a mini if you can over a Daisy. I'm not sure where mini's at right now, but.
Did you say set it and forget it because of the eggs, like an egg
more or
timer?
Less.
Was that like a?
There's I'm trying to remember. It was called like the not the microwave, but it was called like the heat wave oven or something like that. I remember I used to have one of those at my old house. And we got another one, $2 from Brandon Jacobs. I appreciate it. Just says egg.
That's a delicious egg.
Or is that a gif of
expensive and exquisite egg?
Yeah, or it's
a treasure this egg.
Or it's a JPEG of Dino's head. I can't tell, like the top of his head. It's one of those two. I can't really tell.
In my phone, I have his contact saved as Dino the Eggman, and then his picture is an egg with a face on it. It's so good.
I called him the Egg Wizard one day, and he's like, "Dude, I like that." He's like, "I like wizards." I'm like, "Cool, the Egg Wizard." That's Dino, the Egg Wizard. He also said he likes Gandalf, but he likes Gandalf the Gray more than Gandalf the White. So there's that as well.
What?
Yeah.
Post-resurrection.
Yeah.
That's how that works, right? Gray, then white?
Yeah, gray, then white, yep.
So. Randy would know.
Has like 135 collectibles and 5 followers. He's not new. Yeah, that Decory guy. I'm actually kind of glad you guys are taking this over. Like, as much as I want to help and stuff, like I'm running the stream, and I do think there are other people, like either people in chat and or people like Kobe Collects that would do like an infinitely better job than I could of like reaching out and contacting someone to kind of get that figured out. So Egg Gang, yes, what's up? Egg Gang. Flipping is always riskier. I like swing trading or margin trading. Yeah, like when I'm doing that, I usually just stick with like
actually, Dino wants to jump on the live. Why don't we swap out? Dino can swap in and I'm going to swap off because I should. We've got 6:30 here, so I should do dinner with family and all that good stuff. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by, dude.
Thanks for having me. And
of course.
It was fun chatting with all of you.
All right. See you, dude. Everyone go check out Veve 3 while you can. He does have a new video out.
I do the things.
And he does have a new video pretty much every time there's a new drop. He always has a pretty interesting video with that. Dino, you said you wanted to jump on, right? I must have skipped it. Brandon, yes. We conquered. Throw Dino on live. I'll come say hi. We egged hard. We only got a few minutes to say hi. Yeah, I'm on Discord though, so let me get you on Twitter. Figure this out. Try and find a way where I can get Dino on. Dino, what's up? I know you use what the hell's it called? Goose something? I forgot what it's called. The other thing. StreamYard. I don't have that. I'm not sure if that's easier or harder to set up than Discord, so. Is StreamYard's like super easy to set up? Dino, I just messaged you on Twitter, by the way. Flipping is always riskier, like sweet trading or margin trading. Yeah, I do something similar. I mean, I look for certain points, like when something is high, or if I feel like a catalyst is coming. I've done it quite a few times where like I see Spider-Man pumping. Like I did this exact same thing when I bought Zombie Hunter Commons, because I saw that it was a bit of a risky play, but I saw all the other Spider-Mans pumping, so I managed to buy a bunch of the Zombie Hunter Spider-Mans at like, at the time it was like 280, 275. Then I managed to sell most of them for above 400. All of them but 2. And then did some other stuff. Thank you, fam. Yay. All right, cool. All right. It's also, is this showing? Yeah, that's like showing random stuff. Close that. Close that. Once Dino adds me on Discord, we'll go ahead and get that going. Let's start a GoFundMe page for the Spider-Man. Most of us. While Bobby get media attention, maybe the buyer will be pressured to return it once the story gets out. Yeah, I was. Yeah, dude, like get a hold of someone like Kobe Collects. Like I'm not even sure how to approach this. Like Kobe Collects has already done this like 2 or 3 times in the past. So I would hit him up if you're not in contact with this channel, like, or if you don't know who that is, like, go to his YouTube channel, go to Kobe Collects, as well as like Twitter. You can even just tell him like, hey, BB Vibes told me I should go seek you out, or just people in the community said to go seek you out. 2. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna call Dino. Let's go. It's not right. Dino, what's up? I think I got this. Dino!
Dude, what's up, fam? How you doing?
I'm doing awesome, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna try and, gosh.
Dude, we chilling.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Is this what I want? No, this is not what I want.
My kid is currently laying on the ground playing with like random stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just chilling. Dude, Jen, thank you for the eggs, man.
What is this?
I don't know if your stream can hear me or not.
No, they can hear
Oh,
me,
there
for
it
sure.
is. I see me on the stream. Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys, spam
kinda hard
some
to see
eggs in the
that.
chat. Spam some eggs. Let's
Yeah,
go.
get some eggs in the chat, dude.
Spam some eggs. How you doing, man? How long you been live?
For about 2.5 hours. So not bad.
Dang, going hard.
Yeah, dude. There's a couple times where I actually did like a 4 or 5 hour stream, pretty late at night, and a couple of times it was my collectibles.
Did you do it by yourself?
Yeah, dude. I just talk market and I just start spewing stuff, and maybe it's also just a different time zone, right? Just there's not a lot of people that stream like late West Coast time. So I'm trying to get this egg like
Dude, but that's just a hard on the voice.
Dude, it is. Dude, it's very, especially if you're drinking an energy drink at the same time, that sugar is just like coating your throat and just like, oh, like putting on the egg head, the crown on your head, at least attempting to. There's the youngling. Cute. There. Wish I could have it like move with your head.
Crying. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, no worries. Logan Heine. What's your take on DeLoreans? I think they're all right. I think actually right now is like not a bad. I'm just gonna put the egg right here. I don't know where else to put the egg. I think actually right now is like not a bad price point to get one. I think it just hinges a little too much on like the Veve verse and all that other stuff. In my personal opinion, I think I'm just gonna open another tag of ecomi wiki because this is getting like nuts with the lag. Pick one group. What am I looking at? Deadpool, common and uncommon. 2. I don't know what's like ghost spider. 2 ghost spiders. Batman 42 and Groot. Pick one group. So Deadpool, common and uncommon. 2 ghost spiders, or a 42 Batman 42 and Groot. I would do 2 ghost spiders personally. I really like the ghost spiders right now. As for the DeLoreans, but that Valenini, you got my head like, I was like, what am I looking at here?
No, that entry's wrong. It's Groot.
I heard you were taking. I heard you were taking Groots for like your Hawaii like group thing. Like, what's that about?
Yeah, for Hawaiian shirt gang. Okay. Bro, totally stole it from Randy, bro. Dude, Randy's smart, dude. He's advertising all over that fridge, so I decided to do it too. And yeah, I kind of like the Groot, man. I feel like maybe they're a little undervalued, even though that's such a taboo word to use on TV.
I think it's like a taboo word. I don't know. Yeah, it's just like a very arbitrary term. It's just like, what does it really mean, and like what timeline and all that stuff. But yeah, I totally feel you on that. Am I like cutting off your? Hold on. Hope I'm like not.
It could be totally wrong. Like I just like Groots too, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a different collectible in the future. But right now, yeah, I'm doing Groots.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I thought about possibly doing something like that, and maybe at least for like a donation page or something like that. People want to donate NFTs instead, then kind of get their name up. I might put a little ticker. Someone had a good idea. I think it was Corey at VV3. There's like a ticker at the top of the screen that goes along the top that has people's names, and it just kind of scrolls left to right. Or I might have a tier system of like common, uncommon, rare, and that puts your name in like different colors, something like that.
Dude, Corey's so creative with stuff like that, bro.
Oh, dude, like
Corey's super smart.
Corey's great. Like, I hate doing like, I know it's like once you set it up once, you're kind of dumb, but like all that setup stuff, I kind of hate doing it. Like, I just want to turn on the stream and just go, and not like spend hours like setting it up and researching and like how to put it up on the stream. But
yeah,
that's my style. I think that's kind of where we're similar. Is like, I just want to just turn on the stream and go and just talk Veve. I don't want to spend a ton of time like setting stuff up, but it does make it aesthetically look nicer. Like at the end of the day, so.
I sent you my number just so it's easier to connect too.
Cool. Yeah.
On Twitter.
I'll shoot you a text.
You guys are going hard. People ask you market questions all the time, huh? They're just like throwing super chats going like, hey, what do you think about this, huh?
Not too often. It's not always like not always super chats, but it's people usually at the beginning of the screen, people just sling a ton of questions, especially if there's a new drop, like when like when the golden moments came out, people were like, should I sell this golden moment for these two, or should I sell my 5 lenticulars for these 2 golden moments? Like, just tons of those questions. And it's just interesting because you can just see people just moving stuff around all the time. Like, whatever's the new thing, people are like, hey, should I sell off these old things? I'm like, dude, like, don't sell your golden moments. Like just hold on to them. Like, they'll be fine. Like, they're still, keep the OGs, you know? That's just my take. Veve Vibes,
100%. Their floors are also just way better established.
Can we call you David? That's not my name. My actual name is James. Corey calls me by my real name occasionally, which is James, but I don't know where you got David. Both of you got nice haircuts. Awesome. I agree, Mason Fuzzy. We do have nice haircuts.
We do have great haircut.
Yeah. Did you shave recently? Your head looks
yeah, I buzzed. I let my hair. I got lazy AF and wasn't buzzing my head for like a week. Like I just I don't know why.
Dude, if I don't cut my hair for a while, I look like I'm gonna get put on some sort of watch list if I like get too close to a school or something. So I have to like be careful because I just look like a crack addict or just like, yeah, it's not. I look
like that if I shave my beard. If I shave my beard, it's like straight up like, it's straight up like that guy's going to jail just for walking by a school.
Both of you got nice. Yeah, I already said that. Met David, yeah, that too. That appeal to the largest markets or buyers. Would a buyer in China recognize that DeLorean with black and white from Back to the Future? Would that investor know Back to the Future? Exactly. So that's why I'm not too bullish on the idea, me personally, of like Ultraman or what's the other one? Good God, Ultraman and like Voltron. It's a little bit just too regional, and from what I've heard,
Fantasy, maybe.
Yeah, Pilly Fantasy. Yeah. Like, it's just, even though those markets are huge, like, it's still just a little bit too regional, still relying on, a lot of localization on our end, like, on Veve's end to, like, do stuff. Still waiting on, like, those governments to kind of, like, allow NFTs in kind of different ways. It's just too many things need to fall into place for my liking. But if you like to look at Pilly Fantasy, like, if you want to buy, like, the rare or whatever, I think right now it's like less than 100 or something. But Logan, sorry,
It's cheap. I heard it's, like... Yeah, it's cheap. I heard it's like $550 for the full set or something. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. I still have yet to even get to Logan's question. I apologize. I was like looking at DeLorean. I was like just getting sidetracked. DeLoreans, I think it's an okay price point. Like I wouldn't hard stack them right now, to be honest. Like if I was to stack something, I'd probably go like Ghost Spiders. In my opinion, I think they're going to do pretty well. Because the gamification, I do think I think a lot of people do like the Ghost Spider. It's an FA. I think people like the Gwen Stacy version of Spider-Man, and I think she's going to make more appearances in the future. That's my take.
I just picked up a Donald lenticular today.
Oh hell yeah, dude! I'm very bullish. I still think gem for gem Donald is the best card on the app, or at least of like the set, in my opinion.
He's pretty freaking good looking. I gotta say that for sure. That's a good looking duck. Like if I've ever seen a good looking duck, it was Donald lenticular.
Yeah. That's a confident duck right there. He's got his.
It's a freaking boss ass duck.
It's a boss ass duck. Got his flippy. He's got his sick ass flippy floppies on, little pitter patters, whatever you want to call
them.
He's
ducks. A freaking G. He's a G.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Where's he?
But right what's better is freaking 9 common Groots. That's what's better. 10. Sorry, 10. I just picked up another one.
Is that how many you got now? Is that, did you buy those, or some of those?
Yeah.
Or were some of those from the pineapple group? Or not pineapple, God.
No, I mean, well, a couple of them, 3 of them were donated to me, like to support the channel. And then the rest I bought. I just bought one just now. Someone had it listed at 36. The 35 got bought right underneath me. I bought the 36, and now the floor is 39.
Yeah.
So it was a really, but I mean, it might keep getting undervalued, right now.
Yeah, I think this gem squeeze has just lasted so long that Groot is getting sold off, but it's gonna recover fine. I give it enough time. It just depends on, as long as there's no other like super hard hitting drops, for the next I think everything is just.
Did you see the drama on Twitter today again? The chili drama.
A little bit. Like refresh me on it, or like is it just about Alex G? Is Alex just saying like people are overreacting to my chili comment, basically?
Yeah, so basically he's saying we overreacted to the chilies. He was talking about he had a busy week at work the next week. That's what the chilies was. It was like, that's the weirdest thing ever. And then they literally are doing an AMA tomorrow, and they said in the title of the AMA, like, which it's a low key AMA, right? It's not like the whole team, but it's like we're going to address the overhyped chilliness. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that said, like, oh, I would rate this drop a 2 out of 4. He's the one that said it, like, I would rate this at this out of this, you know? And
I called him out for it today. I mean, and I'm not into that. Like, I like positive vibes. I was like, bro, love you, have a good day, you're awesome. You know what I mean? I said all that too, but I said, bro, you can't say to someone that's saying, because he was being asked about MTL, like, I wouldn't announce MTL with a flip tweet like this. And I'm like, well, actually you would, because you would announce not having Pokemon or having it with a P-word tweet, and you do all that. So I'm like, actually you would do it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he even said that in the AMA prior, right? He even said, I thought he said, like, towards the end of the AMA, like, oh, the end of February is gonna be spicy. And then that's why people were saying, like, ooh, muy caliente. I think it was Veve Rich or whatever. And then he responded to him saying, hey, that's only 2 out of 4. Like, oh, there's more stuff coming, right? Or whatever. And so, and if he did want to shut it down, he could have been more respectful. He's like, you gotta, you know, he could have said something along the lines of, like, I love how our community is so passionate that they'll, like, read anything out of context, like LOL, or, like, maybe I was, like, over, you know, just talking about, like, how passionate we are and how we just, like, overanalyze everything and, you know, all that stuff. Like, that's just how we are, though. Like, we're always looking for an edge. We want to find out what the next thing is, and it's fun to speculate, right? If there was legitimately no leaks or no information at all, like, whatsoever about, like, next drop or any kind of drama, it would kind of get boring on the app. Like, let's be real.
Yeah. Well, I gotta go hang with fam, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi to you and Corey, and you guys are awesome, and sub to the channel, man. Like the channel, boys. I also wanted to hear what you thought about the chilies.
Oh, the chilies? Yeah, I think it is what it is. I'm not holding my breath on it, because, like, we have had times where it's like, you know, thinking about things like Baldo's Case, where everyone was, like, hyped about it, like, oh my god, what's the last 007 drop? It was like Baldo's Case. And same thing with, like, Vivian3 said, like, the whole fat breakfast poster thing, like, people were kind of waiting for that, like, what is it gonna be? It's like, oh, it's just a poster,
and nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody. It was like the last drop of 2021, and, like, everyone's like, dude, it's gonna be big, right? It's gonna be huge. And it was like, oh, meh. And, like, a lot of it was overhyped by the community, right? Like, it wasn't, like, not all those times it was Vivi's fault. So I'm not holding my breath, but at the same time, like, I'm preparing for if it's something huge like Boba Fett, but I'm also preparing if it's just going to be a complete flop like Murmacorno season 3, right? Whatever that is. It starts with an M. I remember you were laughing about that before, like, really, Murmacorno season 3 that starts with an M. I'm like, oh, please don't. But you never know. But
that would suck so bad, but, you know, whatever.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'll text you my number now that I got your number, and we'll connect that way going forward. So awesome, man. Thanks.
Cool, dude. Okay, peace out, stream. You guys are awesome. Have fun.
See ya. Let me get some eggs in chat. Bye. Let's get some eggs in chat for our boy Dino. I'm gonna leave the egg here actually for Dino. Dino's got to be here in spirit. So I'm gonna just leave the egg right there for Dino. Cool. Nice of him to stop by. Let's do this. Any other burning questions about, like, market or what to buy or anything like that? For the most part, oof, my inside of my ear is, like, on fire. Can we see the graph for 21 Joker, please, over the last 4 to 5 days? That's the, not Jim Lee, right? Is that Jim Lee? Let's type in Joker and find out. It's either Jim Lee or it's Dick Sprang. Okay, so it is the FA Joker. He's below 1K right now. Wow, that is an interesting time. David is trying to appease all licensors, including his lesser known licensors. That's why David is pushing Pili. Well, I mean, he's never gonna trash talk one of his licensors, right? He's gonna say, you know, no matter what he's releasing, he's gonna try and be as optimistic as possible, right? He's not gonna say, yeah, Pili's big, but it's no Marvel, right? You guys know what I'm saying? It's not Disney. Like, he's not gonna say that. So of course he's gonna say what he can to not necessarily appease them, but just, you know, make them feel special, like, on his platform, and kind of build some sort of hype or at least some sort of recognition around the idea of Pili Fantasy, because he knows most of the people that are on the app are just people here that are, like, in the, you know, I don't want to say Western civilization, but you know what I mean, where it's like mostly US, Europe, parts of Europe, and, like, Australia, this and that. So we don't have that many people in, like, the Southeast Asian area on BB. Hey, I have an opportunity to grab Iron Man, Elsa, and Hat, or should I stack a huge stack of, let me see, rare comics and hold for MCP? Should I hold for announcements? Thoughts? I'm not bullish on MCP, dude. Until I see a final iteration, I see like a really good reason to like really go all in on MCP. And even then, like I'll put some money aside for MCP. Like I might grab like 5 or 6 like rare comics, but that's about it. Like I'd rather just stick with NFTs that I know are going to make me money in the long run rather than stacking stuff for MCP. And like, don't get me wrong, like even if you get those rare comics, right? Like those are accumulating value, right? It's not like rare comics are going to go down in value. There is some merit into grabbing something that has good MCP value because other people are going to want to do it too, right? So yeah, for now, like I honestly think if you have the capability without selling off a ton of stuff, execu speak, grabbing an Iron Man, Elsa, and Hat are all great options. In my opinion, I think those are all fantastic, and I would grab those if I could. I could stack a huge, yeah, no, I wouldn't stack rares. Like, to be honest, I'm not touching. You can even just hold off on it, right? If you have that much liquidity, I would just hold off. Just, I mean, there could be a chance you can get Iron Man for closer to 2K, get Elsa for closer to 3K. Same thing with the Hat. So you could get stuff for cheaper. And on top of that, if they do come out with some extremely bullish information on MCP, maybe then that's the time to do it. But other than that, I would either hold off or just get the golden moments and just don't look back. By MCP, I mean hold for price increases when the people buy rare comics for... Yeah, that could be it too. I feel like that's already kind of happened a bit, but yeah, once they do release the final iteration of MCP, I do expect rare comics to go up a lot. But who knows, that the change they could make would all of a sudden make common and uncommons more valuable than the rares or something. Yeah, who knows? He's an insensitive troll. It needs to get his head on right and admit he's messing with people. Don't know who we're talking about. I don't know if it's still David Yu or whatever, but... Veve using the bigger name licensed products in the beginning to draw attention, to get new users, even with the free drops. Like casinos used to give out free play money, gamification. Not even close to being ready for Pokemon. Only YouTubers speculating this. Come on, I've been saying for the last like month and a half that we're not getting Pokemon, and I said like if someone held a gun to my head, I'd be like, all right, there's like a 95% chance we're not getting Pokemon, and maybe a 5% chance we are, but we're not getting Pokemon. That's just my thing, but I think the soonest it would come is like maybe end of year. But even then, I think that's still too soon. I think if Veve really wants to leverage it as much as possible, they want to get some marketing out there. They want to get Omi to NFT. They want to make it as seamless as possible to get other exchanges and stuff like on Veve and just get more hype and stuff around Pokemon before they even release it, including the queue system, because they know that's going to be the most fair. And with the current system, the way it's set up, like people, they're still dealing with bots and restricted accounts and all that stuff. Like I think they want to make sure like the slate is mostly clean before they release stuff like Pokemon. Because if they think there's people complaining now, wait till we get all the Pokemon fans on the platform, just complaining about every small nuance on the app. And then now their, inbox of customer service is going to be flooded. So they just don't even have people to handle the day-to-day customer service stuff, let alone Pokemon. If Pokemon comes, Disney would not be happy. More royalty. I'm not sure how that would exactly work, but I don't know what kind of agreement Veve did with Disney. Pokemon is way too big for the app. As its current iteration, I agree. Disney is one of Vive's most popular licenses. That is why Veve is dropping golden moments frequently, or more royalty. I don't know. They've only had 2 sets, right? So it's only been like what, the 4th Disney drop that's actually been like labeled Disney, right? We had golden moments, lenticular cards, Steamboat Willie, and the 2nd set, or whatever you want to call it, the Valentine's Day golden moments. So been lots. They could barely handle themselves right now. Hey guys, 2 of my favorite YouTubers wondering if I FOMO'd into selling Wally and Common Marvel Comics #1. for an 1108 Donald Daisy Gold moment. Figured it would be a good long-term decision. Yeah, that's probably something I would not have done. G43, in my opinion, like if you're going for low mints, like you might as well just go all out and get like a sub 100 or get like a really, really low 100 or something, like something that really stands out. Getting like a lowish one is, you know, might help you sell for like a little bit above floor. Like if it's on that same screen, right? Like let's say the floor is at 1500, you can maybe sell yours for like 1600 or 1700, kind of like skip the line a little bit on the floor. But other than that, like I don't know, I've never been like a big low mint person. I've always just been like, I try to get the lowest mint possible for the floor price. So that's been my thing, but I'm not paying a premium for low mints. That's for sure. Hold Pokemon for later. Pokemon is the carrot. Yeah, or it could be their, you know, that could be the card they play if there's a big bad announcement that's going to be coming up about Veve or licensors backing out or whatever. Pokemon could be the way to like reel people back in. So not entirely sure. Hope to see game characters come in the future. I'm sure. How's the Cthulhu dolls doing? I think they're doing all right. Sorry, I was supposed to look at Jim Lee Joker. I mean, he's literally 50% off from his all-time high, but I'm not going to just take that candle for it. I mean, we're going to look at these two ones on the other side, right? So it's probably a little bit closer to like, probably like 1700 rather than this. There's a lot of resistance on the way down. I do think Jim Lee Joker and like all the Batmans and stuff are going to do great, but they're just going to take so long because of that 2.5% fee. There's so many people flipping, and like these are always some of the first NFTs to get put up because it's a popular Batman, you know, character, and they're going to get sold off and or bought, right? 2.5% fee too. So listings are finally going down, but overall, I'd rather just buy other stuff for $1,000, to be honest. Like in this case, you could probably buy a Donald and a Daisy or something close to it. Lenticular card. Recur is positioned for female collectors and sports collectors. Interesting. Can you zoom in on Joker Graph, please? At what point? Like here? Like this point? You know, I don't think this is a terrible point to pick it up, but it's, if you're gonna try and hold this like long term, I guess it doesn't really matter long term, but if you're trying to flip it at any point, like the shortest term, it's just gonna take a while. Because the second that this hits up to like 1.1k or like 1.2, people are going to immediately start taking profit and just flipping it. There's a lot of people on the app that are more than happy to buy an NFT for 1,000 and flip it for 1,100 or even like 1,150, like, and just do that over and over and over and over and over again and just fight it on the whole way up. You know, people will do that. They'll invest 1,000 gems just to get, you know, 60, 70, 80 gem profit, or even less than that. Sometimes people even do it for a 50 gem profit, and they just do that over and over and over and over again. So, which is why it's just going to take twice as long for it to go up, because there's people that are just constantly flipping it. Brandon Jacobs, I'm struggling with my account. I know smart thing is to have a few really valuable things, but I want to stack tons of cheap things. Looks more full on collection page. I guess if you really just value just making your page look more full or whatever. I don't know. There's a balance to be had between quantity and quality, right? I think it's good. In my opinion, I think the perfect balance is maybe like 60-40 or 70-30. Maybe 70% of your vault value is things that you're just gonna buy and hold long term, and then the other 30% are things you just stack that you're confident are gonna go up in price, like over X amount of time, and you just sell those off. That's what people use comics for. They just use it basically as like their piggy bank to withdraw from every so often, to have gems for the next drops or whatever. Disney parent company Marvel, if Pokemon dropped, what would Disney say? High-end Disney, Marvel, big licensors, Pili, low-end market. Fun under the sun, one Todd, one Pride, or 10k worth of Donald Golden Moments for the highest ROI. So if you bought that many Donalds, how many would that be? That'd be like what, 16 or like 17 Donalds or something weird? Probably like 16. Or one Todd, one Pride for the highest ROI. I think just to keep it simple, I think you just go with Todd and Pride. Like flipping that, like stacking that much stuff. I don't know. I don't think like gem for gem, probably like initially, when the market recovers, like maybe Donald might do better than both of those. But like in the medium or like long term, it's gonna really hard to argue against like Todd as well as Pride, in my opinion. Mostly Todd, but I'm struggling with my. Okay, I think I already answered that or saw that. According to Facebook, the guy that sold the Spider-Man for 6.6K just offered a real sweet deal, but he declined it. And then that happened. Huh. Damn, that sucks, dude. Yeah, I mean that's just how it is, and I don't think and again, I don't think the community needs to light their torches and pitchforks to go attack this guy, right? Like, it's unfortunate, but I don't think we should like bully this person either into giving back their NFT. Like, it's an honest mistake. It happens. Like, it just sucks that it happens to be you know, one of the most expensive NFTs on the platform, but I'm not a firm believer in basically attacking this guy because he won't give it back either. So I really hope the community doesn't react that way. I think it's okay to kind of frown upon it and talk about it, but I think attacking the person's like not the right way to go either. I agree, Veve. Yep, 5. Hell yeah. Mason Fuzzy, Graham was talking if on a podcast they said they'd come out with a Pokemon NFT, he would get on it. Pretty much, yeah. I remember watching that on what was it? Millionaire Money? No, what's it called? What the hell's it called? That little podcast they have. But they did say like, yeah, if Pokemon happened, like a ton of people would come on the app, but they need to smooth everything out on the app first before they even think about touching it. And realistically, what I think is happening is like all of this is just a runway. It's just a test run to make sure everything runs as smoothly as possible for Pokemon when they need to do it. Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh equals wild card. Yeah. Or just a lot of animes could kind of be like a wild card, right? In the grand scheme of things. Zeki speak. Okay, he made me an offer and I considered it. I never declined the offer. Bobby, $10. Dude, that sucks. He made me an offer and I considered it. I never declined the offer. Okay, so you considered it. You haven't said yes or no to it. Dude, that just sucks. You know, I really hope he returns it. I hope we find the right way to do it. Like I said, I wish I could help out more, but like the only contact that I know that would be able to help you out is someone like Kobe Collects or whatever. Like I don't know the guy or like anything like that, so it's like but I'm also not a fan of basically bullying this guy socially or, you know, all that stuff to basically bully him into like giving it back either, right? I don't believe in that. I think either we give him a good offer or we encourage him to give it back or something like that. But I think like incessantly doing something like that or bullying him or like ruining his Veve experience and all that stuff, you know, should he give it back? Probably, but I don't think he's in his right to also not give it back either. So, dude, that really sucks, Bobby. Dude, I can't even imagine. Dude, I don't even know how much I'd be freaking out if I did something like that. I really feel for you, dude. I don't know how I would like recover from something like that, like mentally. I'm the same with low mints. Every time I paid for more for a low mint, I hold bags. I have 4 low mint uncommon Deadpools, and I'm probably never going to get my value back on. Yeah. Unless they're grail low mints and there's always buyers for them and it's like some sort of, you know, thing. But even then, yeah, I think I like just buying floor price stuff. So since then I go for the lowest mint for floor, like you said. Yeah. What do you think about Spider-Man? Just like in general? I think he's great. As of right now, like Secret Rare Spider-Man, I do think given enough time, it will get flipped by Walt. I know it has super low mint and that has a ton of significance, but so does Walt. But yeah, dude, Spider-Man is the strongest IP, or, you know, it's the strongest superhero in general, but also just for Marvel, right? So I do think like when the market pumps, like let's say when the market recovers after this whole chili drop and all this crap, or maybe February ends and like the market finally kicks it into gear, the first things that will pump will be golden moments. And then the very next things that will pump, probably alongside or maybe roughly the same time, will be the Spider-Mans as well as the lenticular cards. Like those will go, because that money, people are going to either chase the pump or they can't afford it. They're going to look to the next best thing, right? Which is usually lenticular cards and or Spider-Mans. And then after, I mean, it's going to be the grails, right? With the golden moments. So Todd and whatever else. If people, if like the market's like really recovering and they're like trying to make a run, that's what's going to happen. And then like Steamboat Willie probably won't kick into action towards like the tail end of it, of like that, not like the tail end of the overall pump, but like that initial pump that happens. So Black and White series stuff will obviously pump. It could be, you know, there could be a lot of overlap between all those IPs, but I do think Spider-Man is, yeah, it's a super strong IP. But as we've seen here between this gem squeeze and the previous one, like it's just like anything else on the platform, it's vulnerable to gem squeezes, right? And just them just losing 50% of their value. So I still recommend it. I also think like Ben Riley's are it's not even like a risky play, but it's definitely the most volatile of the Spider-Mans. I do think this one has the most room to move, like Ben Riley, especially at 420 right now. For the most part, I like the common Spider-Man a ton. The only one that I'm probably not like the biggest fan of is like the uncommon. Like I do like the cool stance of him hanging up upside down, but like I'd rather kind of just have a Ben Riley, at least like gem for gem, that I think is the best. But I like them all. Like I don't have an issue with any of them. I do think they're solid, but right now the hype is just golden moments. So but I do think right now Spider-Man, especially like Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, like all that, like these are all fantastic buys right now. I just think they're going to take a little bit longer to recover compared to like the lenticular cards and golden moments and stuff. Like it's probably not even going to be noticeable, but like a tiny bit longer. That's my take on it. I just bought the Protector Common Jermaine Rogers. What's your thoughts? Can you take a look? Not super bullish on, like, I've said this before, I'm not super bullish on like independent artist stuff. Like if you're buying something independent artist and you're trying to go for a flip, you just best be ready to play the gem squeezes. It's a cool looking piece, and I think independent artists do have their place. Like if you do have a majority of your collection done and you can't put a lot of money on the app, but you have like a couple hundred gems here and there and you like some of the look of the independent artist, then sure. But as like a main source or like as a main investment strategy for like trying to accumulate wealth on Veve, like I would not be heavily investing into independent artists. But if it's just a one-time thing or if you have a couple of them, then so be it. But I don't expect you to stack 10 of these because there's just better investments in my opinion. It's not the best looking chart. As you can see here, it's like gem squeeze, listing skyrocket, price drops down, goes down, next announcement. Okay, goes down, next announcement. You can almost just see when the announcements happen on the app and people just start selling it off. So if you bought it now it's not like a terrible time. You know, it's probably gonna go back up, but to be honest, like the next point where you do see it start plateauing, like maybe it goes back up to like 160, maybe 170. To be honest, if you bought it here at 120, I'd probably just sell it. If you own it, just hold it. If you own it at any time, just hold it. But if you're looking to buy it, I still think like the Gwen Stacy or like the Ghost Spider would do better for like the same price point. But that's just my take on it. What's it? Richard Smith. That's my take. If EV continues to drop new items as frequently as they have been, all previous blue chips may devalue. No, I think the blue chips, in my honest opinion, when Q system drops, all of the whales and all the collectors or people that have been winning drops consistently are just going to reconsolidate their vaults into just blue chips and grails, and then those are just going to run away. And it's going to be really hard for anyone new to get those unless they have a shit ton of fiat to invest into the app. That's my opinion. I do think one of the biggest catalysts, other than like MTL, other than Omi to NFT and that kind of stuff, I think one of the biggest ones is just Q system. I think after a couple of drops, people are going to be like, oh shit, I'm just not winning anything ever, you know? Money moving to newer collectibles. And that's the thing. If people are flipping grails or selling grails to get to the new stuff, those new grails are just going to get bought up by actual holders. At least I would think so. Eventually, like, all the grails are just gonna keep getting flipped until it's just getting into holders or collectors' hands. Like, just give it enough time, but eventually it'll get there. Executive speak. A whale told me once that you should have grails or be flipping to get grails. That's kind of what I've been doing since then. Same. I've just been flipping to get golden moments and like lenticular cards and stuff for the most part. Haven't really kind of got rid of the idea of like investing in other stuff, let's say. Spider-Man iconic, time-tested, in my opinion, global brand, cult following is important, I think. Oh yeah, dude, it's fantastic. It's the best superhero on the app, bar none. But at least as of right now, like at least that we can tell by like the market stuff, like golden moments have just been very resistant during this gem squeeze. And this was even before Alex teased at a golden moment drop, right? With like the gold glitter or anything else, right? So like just the fact that there wasn't even an announcement or anything teased about golden moments related or anything like that, and it held its value, I do think says a lot. Spider-Man hasn't. Gusto, did they announce the Spicy 2 yet? No, not yet, but tomorrow I think they're going to answer a lot of questions with the next AMA. Another guy in the Discord who did it, he's wrecked. Can't imagine losing a grail like that. Feel bad for him. Yeah, I do too, dude. I wish I could help out Bobby more, but there's no one else in the community I can think of more other than Kobe Collects that could help you. Always use PayPal. Daxgy says always use PayPal, eBay, or escrow off app so you're protected. That's smart. As I can speak, nah, they're 100 to 900 minutes, so I played myself. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Can you name top 10 grails on the app? Probably the secret rares of all the comics, like the top comics, like Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #1, Amazing Spider-Man #1, maybe Daredevil #1, and like those, you know, those ones. Secret Rare Spider-Man. Some people say that Ultra Rare Spider-Man might be a grail. I mean, Walt is a grail. I do consider R2-D2 to be a grail. At least it's the newest nominee or the newest graduate, in my opinion, to not only hold its value but significantly increase its value during a gem squeeze. Of course, it's down a bit now, but it's going to recover just as fast. Star Wars is obviously one of the biggest franchises that's ever existed, so it's the FA of that, as well as just being one of the most beloved characters in all Star Wars, and with the most appearances, and everyone knows it and likes R2-D2. So and I'm sure there's a few more. Like, in my personal opinion, I don't consider Donnie a grail. It's just a super expensive low mint thing that just should never been that low. It's not. No one knows who Donnie is except for people that have been on the app, and like even then, like people aren't just gonna give a shit. Like it might go to like very niche collectors or people that just have more money than they know what to do with, and like they might just buy it just as a meme. But other than that, like I don't consider some things like Donnie like a grail. Of course, Todd. Like I don't consider Donnie or any like the Powerpuff Girls stuff a grail, in my opinion. They're more of just a fact of just being super low mint, but. Power? Yeah, like even him. Remember this dude was like, wasn't he like 30K at one point or something crazy? But Jamie, that's I don't know, that's my top 10 grails or whatever I would say on the app. I'm sure there's some I'm forgetting or missing, but I don't know. Can Omi hit 2 cents this year, everyone? Possibly. I don't know. I don't really follow Omi that closely, to be honest. I got scammed on Discord trying to buy a bathing ape. They got 650. That sucks, dude. That's really rough. What happened to Bobby? You already talked about it, so. So I can speak. I had a Ben Ultra Rare that I couldn't move for the longest time. Only 616 mints total, but not a ton of buyers. Made 30% profit on it, so I can't complain. But I was surprised how long it took to sell. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's popular, but it's also kind of a niche thing, right? And there's a lot of other things you can buy for 10K, right? A lot of golden moments, a lot of, like, you can buy Todd, you can buy a lot of other things in that price point, right? So unless that NFT you have for its price point is the top thing to get, it's going to be kind of hard to sell, right? That's why Steamboat Willie was crashing so much, I think. Not only that, but like people were just like, cool, Steamboat Willie's at 10K. Hell, if I sell it right now, I could literally buy C-3PO and R2-D2 right now if I just sold it. And some people might be more bullish on Star Wars than Steamboat Willie or whatever, and I totally don't blame them, right? So there's that. Like, Steamboat Willie wasn't the absolute best NFT to get for 10K, so therefore people sold it for other NFTs or other golden moments. So Lady and the Tramp under 1K. Wowza, really? That's nuts. A golden moment. I did say this before. What's that Lady and the Tramp would be the lowest tier on the. It's a double FA, which is cool, but other than 1955 and 2019, Lady and the Tramp hasn't had any significant appearances or any kind of like push media wise from Veve. So people know of the Lady and the Tramp. I don't even think I've still seen Lady and the Tramp. I might have seen it once when I was like a kid, but I don't really remember much of it. Let's see. Yeah. It was only a matter of time, but I knew it was going to get below 1K. Yeah, I bought my Donald Daisy super high at like 1.9. I should have just waited and just held the gems, but I really thought Donald Daisy, like, I don't think anyone saw these golden moments. Like, I don't think anyone, when these golden moments were announced, like, oh yeah, by the way, Donald and Daisy are probably going to go till 1.7 and then they're going to crash all the way down to 1.3. Like, I don't think anyone thought that, like, after drop. Best superhero till we get Obi-Wan. Yeah, there's some very big. I mean, there's certain anime characters. There's Star Wars. There's Harry Potter. There's some still person like Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't think Lord of the Rings, it's big, but it's not, you know, it's not Harry Potter big, or it's not Pokemon or anything like that, obviously. But there's some big name characters that people really want to collect on Veve. Fun Under the Sun. Let's take 2 seconds to say thanks by smashing that like button. Come on, Veve fam. Dude, I appreciate it so much, Under the Sun. Fun Under the Sun. Always bringing the energy and the likes and the positivity. I dig it. We still got, I just realized I still got this egg here for Dino's head. Zeki speak, I owned, I'm probably gonna hop off here in like 10 minutes too, by the way, guys. So I've been streaming for, yes, for about 3 hours and 20 minutes. So make it a 3:30 stream. I owned You Are Spidey for a long time, super soft on pricing. Might be a grail someday, but he's not there yet. Yeah, I would say so. Would you say the demographics for users on Veve are predominantly younger males? Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I could probably look it up, but if I had to guess, probably most of the users on Veve are probably between the ages of 25 and 45. I know that's like a 20-year swing, but I don't know. I kind of want to like look up the demographics on my viewers. Let's see. Come on. Look up like because I can look up these analytics, right, of like my viewers and stuff. And if I had to guess, my viewers are probably 95% men. That's just how it works in these. It's nothing against women or anything like that, but typically when it comes to these like very speculative, heavily investing, like number crunching, you know, kind of future stuff, just in general, it is typically males. That's just how it is. Let's see, analytics. Audience. I think there's like an advanced mode I need to open up. Viewer age. Let's go. As long as it doesn't show any like crazy personal information, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. It really shouldn't, but. Okay, so exactly what I thought. Here it is. So it says right here, I hope you guys can see it. There you go. Maybe I'll zoom in once. Whoops. Does that make the graph bigger? I don't think that's making the graph actually bigger. Can I like filter? Whatever, you guys can see it. Regardless, so yeah, the majority, so 72.4% of my viewers are between the ages of 25 to 44 years old. There's a few people below 18, a few up here, but yeah, the majority of the viewers are in the 25 to 44 year range. View gender, it's gonna be, wow, I was just guessing. I should have said 95%, and it was 94.9%. And I think someone did, I could have sworn Veve said that like, oh, like the users between Veve on Veve are like almost split 50-50, like half female, half male. I think they said that a couple months back. I'm like, that's probably only true for two reasons. One, it's probably mostly the male that got on the app, and then it's usually the boyfriend or the husband that convinces the significant other to typically get on the app. Look, honey, I won this NFT. I spent $40 on it. Now it's worth $3,000. What do you think? She says, great. I want to do that too. And then she gets on, and that's typically how it unfolds, right? Or people do have multiple phones or multiple accounts. I have an extra phone. It's completely fine. Veve didn't say having an extra phone or two phones is like illegal or bad or anything like that. As long as you don't have a ridiculous amount or whatever. But some people probably do troll and just put female on there. Some people just put like, yeah, I'll just put female, like whatever. Like, you know, who knows if all those people are actually female. But if that statistic is right, I'd be very, very surprised if it was actually like 50-50 on the app. But if it is for that reason, it's usually because the male got their significant other on the platform, and then on top of that, people are probably just trolling and just putting female on the app, right? Like that's just what I'm thinking. But yeah, there's the viewer age. Let's look at the geography. I'm kind of curious like where my viewers are coming from. United States is 61%. United Kingdom consists of about 8%. Canada 6%. Australia 2%. Netherlands, Germany, France, India, Singapore. Interesting. It's interesting that there's people calling from these other countries, or not calling, but you know, coming from these other countries that are part of this, like these, you know, fractions of a percent. So I really think that's cool when people are coming in. But yeah, 36,000 hours of watch time is from the United States. That's pretty cool. Subscription status. I'm trying to see if there's any other like cool stuff. Traffic source is also kind of cool to look at, like where people are coming from. Browser features, YouTube search, suggested videos. For a long time, it was suggested videos was like kind of a way to like grow your channel. If you can get suggestion, people click on that. That was like a really good for the algorithm. I think browser features, what is that typically? Traffic from homepage, home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. Okay, so every time you guys click on the sub tab on YouTube and you want to find out like which content creators came up with like a recent video or whatever, that's what homepage, home screen, that's what browser features means. And YouTube search terms by viewers on YouTube trying to find your content. That's really good for the algorithm too. Like all of it is good, but I think the best ones is typically suggested videos and like YouTube search for like getting found on the algorithm and stuff. So let's see. Donald and Daisy ranks top 10 5 golden moments. It should, but again, we are in a closed market environment. Maybe there's not a ton of Disney lovers on the platform yet. So who knows? Donald could be in the lower quartile for a while until we get those people on the platform, and then it'll go up. But who knows? Are you bullish on crypto right now? I don't own any crypto, if that's what you're asking. If I were to invest, I'd probably get an ecomi or maybe ETH. But other than that, yeah, I don't really study it that closely or anything. Wonder if Magic the Gathering might hit the app since it's Hasbro. Maybe. What gender do you think is more inclined to collect Disney? I don't know. Probably men. Not entirely sure, but probably men. Even though it's mostly like cutesy stuff, and like who's to say that I mean, I'm thinking in my head, it's mostly the fathers that are buying the stuff, right? And usually they're buying it because of their daughters. So it's like, all right, the purchase is made by a father, but it's for their daughter or for their wife or girlfriend or whatever it is. You know, women do buy their own stuff. I did find out that, like, I think the biggest collector of Mickey, like, memorabilia is a female. I think I watched, like, a YouTube video on that. That, like, the biggest Mickey collector is a female, or maybe... Was it a female? Or maybe that was, like, the lady with, like, the biggest, like, video game collection or something weird like that. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I think that's even why something like Elsa could do well, because it's not always like, you know, there's a lot of guys on the app, but if they were to buy it, you know, it's probably for them, but it's also probably for their daughter too, right? If she's a huge Elsa fan or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm getting off soon, VV3. Don't worry. I'm not staying on for much longer. Probably like less than 5 minutes. Even though I said 10 minutes, 9 minutes ago, I'm not going for much longer. So it's going to be like a 3.5 hour stream. Speaking of Hasbro, I spent a lot of money. I spent a lot of, they dropped some G1 animated Transformers on the app. Maybe not everyone's thing. I would love to see Dungeons and Dragons on the app. I'm not sure what it would look like. Maybe they'd do some like Drist stuff, as well as some like cool creatures, some Umber Hulks, some goblins, some other things like that. I do think that'd be super cool. It's interesting because like Dungeons and Dragons doesn't have a lot of like characters except for like the Drist novels and probably some other stuff I'm forgetting. But I don't know. I really like it. I really need to find a group again to be honest. BV lies about data. I don't know if they lie, but there is ways you can really stretch the truth on even statistics and stuff. I remember watching something on that where it's like, if you like statistics and based on the way you word it and stuff like that, it's really easy to like stretch the truth on certain things. Apparently an active user is someone who logs into the app. Exactly. And there's lots of people that do that. There's a lot of friends I got on the app that all they did was load up 50 gems or 60 gems or 100 or whatever. They log in, play the drop, they don't win, they log off, and that's it. And that's an active user, right? So feels like 99% men. It probably is. Yeah. Thanks for the analytics, of course, Logan. Wouldn't advise multiple accounts, bans or KYC issues, later withdrawing funds. Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to play that by ear, but like one of my accounts doesn't have anything on it. I think VV they're well aware that people are using more than one phone. And if it does get to that point where they say, look, you're going to have to KYC or do this. I mean, I don't have anything on my other phone either. So all I do is have just enough gems, usually for the next drop, and that's it. I've seen some teens on Veve with Secret Rare, Spidey, and Walt. Absolutely amazing for them. I'm in my 3 months being a teen. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, there's some people that have made retirement money already on Veve. Assuming you got in early enough or you got lucky enough on the drops and stuff. So, but yeah, Veve 3, I am, yeah, you done a jig, 8, did a diaper. Yeah, not for much longer. Does Veve provide any verified analytics as open source data? I thought, isn't that what Omi the clown does? He has access, well, he kind of helped Veve with some stuff, but he has access to like their open API in the back, and that's how we're able to get these like market information that's up to date hour by hour. So is that what you mean, like the open source data? I thought Veve also said too, like at some point they might give it out, but right now, probably for security issues as well as just other reasons, they're not giving it out freely to everyone right now. I think only the clown and maybe one other person, but that's all I know. I think that's what you mean. I could be wrong. Geo the Legend picked up a Harley 56 today, an Ultraman Common and Donald card. Yeah, those are good pickups. I like the Donald card. Which Harley is that, by the way? Ultraman Common. Sure. I don't think it's a terrible thing. It's going to get value. Like other people are hyped about it. So, what is 56 Harley? I'm trying to remember which one that is. Oh, FA Harley? Hell yeah. Yeah, 669. That's it's a pretty decent investment. Yeah, I still think, you know, FA Harley, FA Joker, those are all still great investments. It just might have to take a little while to recover back to their all-time highs, or even to get back up to 50% to their all-time high. It might just take a little while longer, but it's still an FA of a significant character, right? So interesting. I'd usually assume most people on Veve who buy NFTs in general are into crypto. Not really. I've just main reason is like I've done a ton of research into crypto, but I think that's the thing. It's like people that are into people on Veve who buy NFTs in general. And I think that's the thing, right? Like you don't need to understand crypto or like NFT space or OpenSea to be on Veve, right? Because Veve is just so easy. You don't need a MetaMask wallet. You don't need all the crazy stuff to get on OpenSea or deal with gas fees or transfers and all that crazy stuff. Like I don't have to deal with it because I'm on Veve. That's what makes it so easy. I'm a major Magic nerd. I'd lose that if it came to the app. Rip my bank account. Driss Dark Elf series by Salvatore. Yep. I haven't read it or anything like that, but I do need to. I do want to look more into that because, you know, Driss fans do seem pretty hardcore. It does seem like a cool series, so I do want to look into it for the most part. I did used to be in Magic. I didn't play like the physical card game, but I remember playing it digitally on my like iPad mini like 10 years ago and playing online against other people occasionally and just getting raffle stomped. But I mostly played like, I don't know, like the big monsters, like the green woodland creatures and stuff, like the lands. I don't know. It's been so long since I played, like legitimately like 10 years. But that's what I would usually try to do, is just win the game through huge ass monsters. New user acquisition demographic data would be great. That would be interesting, yeah. How many people actually stick around, or how many people actually... My thing is like, how many people actually interact with the app on off drop days? Meaning like, if there's not a drop today, how many people are actually logging in when there's not a drop? That's what I want to know too. Like, how many people logged in? Was there a drop today? I don't remember. I don't think there was a drop today. Like, how many people logged in today? That's what I want to know. If it's not a drop day, like how many people on average are on the app actually like looking at the market, doing other stuff? Veve is the crypto market for the noobs, a simpler version of the crypto market, more market manipulation, easier to game the market. Yeah, exactly. I agree. And it's you know, it's all Omi, but it's just running on the background for the most part. But even then, yeah. Is Golden Moment Dawn Daisy still better than 1.5 in the cards? Better in your opinion? I think it's still better than 1.5. It's just gonna take a while for this gem squeeze to kind of like figure itself out, right? I do think Dawn Daisy could settle itself probably around like 2.5k or something like that. Maybe a bit higher after everything is said and done. Maybe 3k. It's hard to tell, but yeah, just running out of juice right now, guys. So I'm probably gonna hop off here in 1 minute after I finish up chat. Pokemon fans are brutal. Yep, that's why I think Veve needs to everything squared away before they get on. Donald or Lady and the Tramp in the 900s. Yep. Just played Magic before there was a rule about multiples in deck a long time ago. Had a Fireball deck that was dumb and gimmicky, but I won a lot. Probably the reason they added that rule. Yeah, dude, exactly speak. You're the exact reason why they added that rule. That's bad, and you should feel bad about it. I'm just kidding. Daxgy, shoot, I log on app like thousands of times a day, addicted, and it's funny because I don't even get on social media hardly. Yep. If nothing drops good, I'll probably go for a Golden Moment Donald. Yeah. If nothing good happens, I'll probably either just grab a Iron Man or maybe I'll look at comics, because I do want to get more comics, or at least like high-end comics. I don't know. Because with 2K, it's like, all right, do I get a secret rare of like a mid-tier NFT, like a mid-tier comic, or do I get like an ultra rare of like a pretty high-end comic, or just stack a bunch of commons? You know, not that many, but I think with 2K, I think I could get like 5 Marvel Comics #1s, right? Something like that. So kind of want to figure that out. I do want to expand more into comics. I'm just much more knowledgeable about I'm just much more knowledgeable about the 3D collectible side. Marcel. Marvel Comics #1. Is the comment still below 400? Yeah, it's still below 400. So yeah, I could probably buy 5 of these for $2 grand. Or again, is it better just to, oof, the ultra rares 2K. What do you guys think? I want you guys to help me out. If you guys had 2,000 gems, and let's say the drop at the end of the month is a complete flop, What would you buy? What would you guys buy with 2100 gems? I have just shy of 2100 gems, but I can come up with like the extra 50 to make it like an even 21. Marvel comic number 1 has 60,000 editions though. True. Yet it's still the most expensive comic on the app, strangely enough, because of its real world popularity. That's what turns me off about them. Not the fact that it's like already the most expensive comic on the app. And that's where I think like people are kind of missing out on mint numbers, right? Is like, they're like, oh, that's so many mints. Not everyone's gonna buy through those, but clearly people are already stacking them and selling them off. I will say, like, it might struggle to go up at the same rate as like some collectibles, just because there are people that probably might own literally 100 of these. Iron Man or about 4 Donald lenticulars. Okay. I'm thinking about those Donald lenticulars as well. I'm just curious what you guys would say if you guys had like 2100 gems, like, because I could literally just buy a ultra rare Marvel Comics number 1 just straight up, or 2 Wallies. Long story short, my 2100 would go to GMs or lenticulars. I agree. I'd probably do the same too. Get Iron Man, Becky, or Nightwing. Iron Man probably the best. Yeah, I agree. I'd probably get Becky or Nightwing, mostly Becky if I wanted to do like a short-term play and just do for like a quick flip. But Donald has so much people investing already in them though. Like card, yeah, all the more reason to buy it because people are gonna hold it, right? Which means the price will run up a bit more. So if more people own it, especially if they bought it at a high price, they should be much more likely to hold it until it gets profitable for them, right? Like if we pull up Donald, all right, I'm gonna do this last thing, then I'm gonna hop off. Come on. Donald. When they go up to an amount, everyone is going to sell. Also, that could happen. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have like, I mean, Donald's almost at an all-time low. That's what's kind of hanging out around here. But there's probably a lot of people that bought it above 700 for sure. 700, 800. A lot of people probably bought for above 800 as well, right? So all that means is that ideally it should go back up to 800 quickly, and then there's going to be some resistance at 800, then I might break through that, then 900, then I'm not saying it's going to jump back up to 1100 or 1200 like that. Like obviously there's going to be breaking points where people are just going to want to get rid of it the second it's profitable, right? So it's probably going to stop every 100 and get retested, and if people are going to want to keep it or sell it off. But I think it's going to do very well. I mean, just the fact that there's multiple levels of resistance on its way down means that people are going to want to buy it. The real question is, are those people going to want to keep it on the way back up? I'm stacking one of the unicornos. Don't judge me. The baby, the Babs Harley, the new Supergirl in Golden Moments. Great entry right now, in my opinion. Yeah. Becky, Superman, Iron Man, and rare Spidey ones I'm holding longer term right now. The other 70% of my portfolio is going to be flipped. Cool. Steamboat. Yeah, true. Cool. I'm stacking one of the unicornos. Are you stacking Pepperino? Logan? Pepperino? Because Pepperino, who was it? I think it was Veve Vault said he was stacking Pepperinos because it's not technically unicorn because it has 2 horns and not 1 horn. So that makes it unique. Pepperino has 2 horns. Look at that. 1, 2. It's not a unicorno. It's a bicorno or a duocorno. It's not the same thing. If it goes down to 500, I'm just gonna get them over gold moments. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking too. But I was just curious what you guys thought about that in the meantime. So I'm gonna turn this off before I forget, which is the egg. So I don't have that up right now. Pepperino equals Alex's favorite unicorno. I could see, because it's not a unicorn. And you can buy that maybe without being called a brony. Bicorno, yep. It's not like a tricorn, which is actually a hat I think like pirates would wear, or like probably seafaring people. tricorn is that's what that called. It's a little like the one that like curves up on the sides and then back here or whatever. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. No, different one. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and guess unicornos or bicornos, whatever. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I think Randy Chavez is streaming right now, so please go check him out as well. And don't forget Vivian3 as well. Check out his content. He is an awesome and amazing guy who changes diapers. So check him out. Hope you guys